All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.
Wait. Come on. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Nonsense and deep thoughts are two sides of the same coin. They both represent a departure from the mundane and the ordinary.
Y'all gotta make some noise for your hosts, Corey and Justin. And let's not forget the man with the plan that keeps things spick and span. Your producer in the back, Jared.
What's going on, everybody? Just startled a little one here. We have some very special guests on the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts podcast today. Alongside me is my lovely wife, Alex. And alongside Jared is his lovely wife, Sarah.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, guys.
So we've got a special episode that we've been talking up for a little while now. We came up with the idea when we had our Q&A episode. And we ended up deciding during that episode that we were going to invite our wives on. Sarah, I feel like you've been wanting to hop on and give your opinions on some things for a while now. Am I right?
Yeah, there's some things.
She's been watching and she's been getting the itch. She wants to try it out. She wants to get on here. I can feel it.
I've stirred the pot a few times.
And then we got Justin over there. What's up, Justin?
Hey, buddy. I got my notebook ready, bud.
Got your notebook. You're going to learn a lot tonight. You're going to learn a lot tonight.
I'm gonna learn today.
We'll see.
We'll see today, baby. So we're going with the idea and the topic of relationships, and we have. How long have you guys been together?
Oh,
Over 10 years. Probably about 12, 13 years.
12, 13 years. So you guys have some longevity.
Yeah.
And at the end of this month, Alex and I have been together for 20 years.
Ooh.
Married since 2009, but we've been dating since 2004.
Nice.
So we decided that we would get some female perspective on some relationship things. Like Justin and I, we always talk our nonsense. Jared tries to rein us in a little bit. And Jared, I don't know if you realize this, but you have some great thoughts on things. And I think you really need to speak a little bit more during our shows, because I listened back to our episode from last week and you make more sense than we do sometimes, my man.
I mean, I keep things together. You know?
You do. You're the glue, baby.
He's the dad of the group.
And we want to make sure that we thank you, Jared, for leaving your cave and heading right on to the main screen with us. Super important to note that you are
appreciate it.
being featured tonight.
I don't get a lot of airtime.
You should.
We also have to thank Sarah for lending us Jared.
Yeah,
That is true.
you're quite welcome.
We have to thank her for that.
So Jared did a lot of prep work for tonight too. He came up with a whole list of topics that we can get to. So Justin, I know you keep saying, I'm not going to be saying a lot tonight. I'm not going to be saying a lot. Well, it's not we're not just looking for married couples' perspectives on things. Okay. I know you've been in the dating pool for a while, and I constantly say that's not something I want to experience nowadays. So like, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you more often than you know.
It's wild out there.
That's so nice.
That's so nice. Seriously. So we do need your perspective on things, man. You're not going to be just in the background tonight.
We'll see. We'll see where the conversation goes.
He keeps saying that, but yeah, he's going to host it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Justin
Oh,
had the
am I? I
opportunity
guess
to
I'll
lead
read
this.
questions.
There you go.
So
Me.
we
Okay.
can start out with some of the questions that you prepared tonight, Jared, just to get things rolling.
All right, guys. No,
Oh,
shut up.
What was that?
Okay, guys.
I
What
am
initially
very
attracted you
relaxed.
to each other?
Very relaxed. That is for sure. You want to take that one?
What initially attracted you together? I don't know.
That's messed up.
Because,
All right.
well, because when we met, you made the first move, and I honestly ignored you at first.
I think that had a lot to do with it because I wasn't looking for like a hookup,
Yeah.
and so you ignored me, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna pursue this one.
He just kept going on.
Yeah.
And finally, I was like, you know what? I'll give you a shot. And here we are, 12 years later.
Oh man.
So
Tommy,
what was the move,
Tommy says
Jared?
don't date a nurse.
What was the move? Oh,
What
okay.
was
So,
the move?
have you heard of my fish story? I don't know if I've ever told you this.
I don't
There
think
was
I've heard
a
this.
fish, I caught it this big, right? And then I caught another fish, and it was this big. Just, just kind of quirky,
Slide in nice and close.
Yeah.
And she liked it. That's what attracted her to you.
She was like, "You're a little weird. I like it."
Yeah. It was
Keeps
it
me on
was
my toes.
Yeah.
it was just
Oh,
a
Lord.
fairy tale from there.
Yeah.
So how about
Alex? No. We'll start with Alex.
I was gonna say,
She's
how about her?
nervous. You first.
He was like my fish story.
Well, he was just cute and he smelled really good.
I
And
smell-
he showed off and did the
Smell
work for
him.
me.
Seeing him. No, hold up. How did you smell him when
When he
saw
hugged
him
me.
first in Kmart?
I can't.
He smelled. I mean,
No. We're
Gravity
talking
is
about
a strong
first
cologne.
met.
Justin knows that one too, Gravity. But what was our first interaction? You remember our first interaction?
Well, first off, when I was 15, you asked me how old I was at Walmart.
Mhm.
Like you were gonna hit on me then. But I was 15, so you're probably like, oh, maybe I shouldn't yet.
Yeah, and then there was the next time when I was working down at Kmart and you held the door open for me when I was pushing carts in. And I don't know what made her decide to do that, but when she did that, I was staring at her the whole way. I was like, oh my God, she is so cute.
And then you said,
What an ass
hey,
on
you
that
come
one.
here.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. So yeah, she's right because I did she brags, her mom used to brag that she picked me out. Okay, so while I was working, she said something and I did the worm in the aisle to impress her. You remember the worm, the
Okay,
dance
so
move?
that eliminates what was the move. That was it. Okay.
It was the worm. And then
What
I
would you
had-
rate that worm? Was it a good one?
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it worked. I don't know.
I mean, I was good back then. I used to be
For
able
real.
to dance, baby.
What about the worm attracted you, Alex?
I don't know.
Did you see what Lori says? Lori says that's called fuck me cologne. They do that on purpose.
It smelled really good, but
Facts,
now
too.
it makes my asthma
Grab-
just
Justin,
terrible when I wheeze. So.
How many girls did you pull back in the day with Gravity cologne?
Gravity
Right?
was the shit.
Gravity was
homie.
it.
Corey still
But,
has that. Just...
I for the longest time then, after doing
Oh shit.
One word. There we go.
damn straight Obi. For the longest time, I had a piece of paper in my pocket with my phone number on it for her. And then, I like she said, I said, hey, you come here. That was my line.
Yep.
I was awkward. Back then. I wasn't exactly a ladies' man, but I said, hey, you come here. And she came over.
It had your
So
screen
how
name for
long?
AOL on it.
My AIM. I had my AIM on there too.
How long was a while? Let's go.
couple of
Break it
weeks.
down.
It was a couple of weeks that I had that on.
Dang.
there.
And then
Damn.
I put my phone number on his car on a Hello Kitty Valentine that said, "You're a cutie."
She knew my car.
You stalked him.
That's what I said. It
No.
looks like we were meant to be.
Because my
You
friends knew what his car
stalked him.
was. No. Whatever.
We actually crossed paths earlier in life. I went to Honesdale. She went to Wallenpaupack. But
lived
do you
across
remember
from my
when we were young, Justin, and the Pittsburgh Steelers sent their B team or their practice squad up to play the JCs in a tournament for some kind of charity event or whatever it was? Well, they ended up going down to Halfway House afterwards for dinner. My family got to go. I forget how my dad knew someone that was running it, so we got to go. And what was it? Your uncle?
Frank.
Your uncle was driving the bus with the players in it. So she got to go. We were both at the same event when we were younger. We never realized it.
And I made fun of you when we were kids because you hung out
that
with
too.
Jeff across the street
Yeah.
from my cousins.
Her cousin lived across the
You
street
thought
from
you
our
guys were
friends.
weird.
So there was that.
I mean, I don't think I was wrong.
But I guess to answer the
Yeah, I
original
knew that
question, it's the way her hips moved when she walked.
I get it.
That's a
That's-
guy
that's what
answer.
That's what attracted me to her.
So
she had
we
baby
can go
Griffin
from
hips
there.
at 16, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I've been told that a lot.
So from there, at the time you guys met, what fuck, where am I trying to go with this? I had it and then I lost it.
Should have
Hosting's
written it
easy.
down.
Hosting's easy, Justin. Come on.
So, yeah. So, what were you looking for in somebody else at that time?
Who's
Like, what
attracted
did you
to?
find attractive in the opposite sex? To get the
You-
difference between guys and girls.
Who
I don't
first?
know. I just thought Corey was cute.
You
He had
guys-
nice arms. I like arms.
How do women say arms?
What
A
was I
lot.
looking for back then, dude? We were teenage boys. What do you think we were looking for in the opposite sex back then? I'm telling you, she walked by, and it's no lie. It was the hips and the booty.
The hips.
It was the hips
Mhm.
and the booty. The
Yeah,
way she walked.
I had a big
She just had that walk about her, and I was like, and she had. Were you dyeing your hair black at that time? I feel like you had
Yeah.
black hair at that time, and I just loved that, the dark hair. I don't know that I've ever dated a girl with blonde hair, ever. I was always into darker hair.
Well, it's because you've been with her since you were 18 and you didn't really date before that.
No, but I liked girls from like 12 to 18. I had girlfriends. Right?
True.
Corey was trying not to.
All right, Jared, Sarah.
I was trying not to faint.
I don't know. I mean, I dated around, but I was looking for somebody to settle down with. I recently moved out to Virginia from Utah, so I didn't really know a lot of people. I was just going to work. So honestly, I was trying to find somebody, because I mean, it was like 2 or 3 years that I've been out here, and all I did was go to work and make money and come home. And I finally just decided to date, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends, so I used plenty of fish. I used a few different ones, and I was just going around trying to meet people, and you know, we met. We went to a movie theater on our first date. And I was like, I was just looking for somebody that's not just gonna sleep with me, you know. So I was just,
Excuse me.
she's in from my beautiful lips. So you know, when you know she left and nothing happened, I was like, okay. I was like, I didn't make a move, she didn't make a move, so I was like, all right, that might be a good sign. So I pursued it, because I mean, I wouldn't say I was a man whore, but I was just tired of that whole scene. It was just time for me to settle down. So, yeah, it's kind of how I was just looking for somebody, and she was very attractive, very nice. She was very independent. She lived on her own, so you know, everything just kind of clicked.
Very nice.
He was just telling me.
Aaron.
This is the
There it
perfect
is.
trial run for Justin. This is the perfect trial run from Justin.
Aaron's got me.
While you're hosting, don't forget to throw a little bit of the promo thing in there as well. Make sure to tell people about
that's
liking,
you, brother.
commenting,
I don't
sharing the
promo.
stream.
It's hard.
Guys, we got a bunch of people
I don't
in
have
here
that
right now.
personality.
So if you guys are here right now watching, hanging out, enjoying the show, make sure you click the like button, the love button, whatever it might be. You guys have no idea how much that helps the show. Make sure you click share too. Share it to your timeline. Get your friends in here. Have them join the conversation. And guys, don't forget to ask us questions yourselves. We don't have to go just by a script. It's the same show as always. We go all over the place. So make sure you get some questions in if you have them.
Well, kind of same show.
I can't do that.
We got
Kind of.
Aaron in the background doing
Yes.
my job. So
Yes, Aaron is playing the role of Jared tonight. So thank you, Aaron. Thank you
appreciate it.
for helping us out.
All right, guys. We're going to start with Jared and Sarah this time. What is your favorite memory as a couple?
Oh. Well, we've done a lot. We've gone on a lot of trips. Did I say our first trip that we took is like a couple?
Key West.
Yeah, it was Key West.
Yeah.
It was Key West. And we drove. We didn't fly. We drove. That was the drive down
That's a
wasn't
test.
too bad. But coming back, never again. Never again.
That is
Yeah,
a test.
no, I thought it was cheaper if we drove. And let me tell you, I mean, yeah, where it was cheaper, it was a very long trip.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of let us grow because I mean, at the time we weren't married. So we grew more as a couple because I mean we had all that time in the car to sit there and talk to each other. She couldn't run away from me, so
What was the worst part about the drive back that made it so terrible? Is it just not just the driving and the length of time driving? Was it also the fact that you were going back home to reality and the everyday?
That too, but on the way down, we did like 2 stops. So we stopped at my grandmother's house in South Carolina, but then we also stopped at my uncle's house in Tampa. So the drive down wasn't too bad because we made multiple stops. On our way back, we literally drove all the way up to South Carolina, and then we were going to drive home. So, I mean, it was just a long drive, but the sheer fact that I had to come back to reality.
Yeah. So that's good. You guys
Corey?
shared the same favorite memory.
yeah, well, kind of. So I mean, and it's not all about trips, but I mean, there was our next trip. We ended up going to Hawaii for a week, and I feel like my favorite place to go was Hawaii. I've always wanted to go, and we went there for about 8 days, and it was probably the best 8 days that I've ever had. Just going around and just no cares. We did what we wanted, and I was there with her family, and basically, I mean, her family's very nice. And just not caring about anything was probably the greatest part because the whole 9 to 5.
We got a little munchkin.
Yeah, that was where Tommy was conceived.
That's awesome. Little Hawaii baby.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
See, and oh my god, to be so relaxed where you're not worrying about anything, that must be awesome.
Oh, it was nice.
Do we know anything about
Corey?
how to do that?
What?
Where we get to relax and worry
You
about
are
nothing?
looking for a fight.
I just get nervous because he.
So you want to ask me next?
No, Corey, your favorite memory as a couple.
We were talking about this all day today because Jared, kind of prepped us on what kind of things we're going to be talking about. And at first, we're both like, "Holy crap! There's so much that we can pick from. Like, what do we even pick?" And it might seem like a weird one that I'm going to pick, but I think my favorite memory as a couple is going to be having Mila. And because it brought us closer.
Yeah.
Like, it was a trying time. It was very difficult, very hard start to her life and scariest thing that we've gone through. But at the end of the day, we've got her, we've got our complete family. And I'm telling you right now, Alex and I have never been closer as a couple.
Yeah.
So 100% that's my favorite memory, is bringing that little child into the world. As hard as everything is.
We had a lot of alone time of just me and you.
Yeah.
For the first time in
a
long time.
Yeah, the first 3 weeks, it was just her and me down there in Danville. And it was, again, it's not like it's a special trip or vacation or anything, but it was just us. We were there for each other. And again, we just grew. But for being together for so long, I feel like we grew more in the last year as a couple than we did in like the last 10.
Yeah. Well, because the last 10 was just spent raising the other two. Like, that's all we did was just
raising the other two, finally getting into our own home that we can call ours for our future, to build our future in. So.
That's what I was going to say for mine is when we closed on the house. We finally were like, all of our hard work came together and we got to sit on our porch and we popped a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah, you guys were looking. I remember you guys looking forward to that.
Yeah, it took us almost 5 years, right? To buy.
I was gonna say we were looking for quite a few years, and we had a couple of heartbreaks. One big heartbreak that was set to go through, and
I still think about that house honestly all the time. But this one's fine.
This one's fine. It's working out though. Scoops has a question for us. You have to read it out loud. Don't read it to yourself.
I am. Yeah, that took a second. Okay. What was the first thing you saw about them thinking like this person I want forever? So yeah, I think he's trying to ask the same thing I was. When did you know? When did you know this was the person you wanted to be with? Corey and Alex.
I don't know. We got along so well, and we had so much in common, and we both had the same ideas of what we wanted when we were adults, I guess. And we talked about having a family like long before we got married.
Yeah.
But was there one moment,
Was there a
Alex,
moment
where you were just like,
oh, I don't.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's.
I have one.
You're way better at
Most people do. What the hell's wrong with you, Alex?
I have one. I have one because it was a moment where I realized how dumb I was. So, as I've said, we met when we were still in high school. I was a senior, she was a sophomore, and then I went off to college. Like when you're that age, you know, you think you're not really looking for the one. Excuse me, but then you think, you know, you're only supposed to date for a couple months and move on and this and that. So I broke up with her once and realized that wasn't the right thing to do and got back with her. And then I did it again when I was in college. And when I did the second time, I realized at that point in time that if I couldn't get her back, that was the biggest mistake of my life. Because that's when that's when I found out that I could not live without her. It was that moment of honestly just stupidity, feeling like I just made the biggest mistake of my life. Because I went, how long was it when we broke up that second time? It was a few weeks, right?
Like maybe 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks. She's all I thought about for those entire 2 weeks. And all I could think about was, oh my God, I hope she didn't move on. You know, I absolutely love spending time with her. It's so fucking cheesy, I know, but I realized I could not be without this woman. And it's at that point in time I knew I didn't want to just date around. I didn't want to just have fun like a lot of college kids like to do. I wanted to be with that one person. I don't like being alone.
So I'm gonna reverse this back to Alex to re-answer this question.
I don't like remember an exact time. I knew I wanted to be with him when he broke up with me too, but he was a dum-dum, so I don't know.
I was a dum-dum.
I'm trying to be nice and not say bad things.
You can say bad things. We're rated R. We're all right.
It's rated R.
For Raven?
Yeah. Rated R for Raven.
All right, so Alex really doesn't have a question.
I don't really have an answer. I don't know.
You don't. She still doesn't know that she's supposed to be with me.
You're a liar. Stop.
That's what I take from that. All right, Jared and Sarah. We'll start with Sarah. We'll get the woman's perspective first again.
Oh, I don't think I have an exact moment.
It's a woman thing.
We never know what we want for dinner either, so I don't.
Yeah, no.
Expected.
I mean, we've had our differences and we've broken up a couple of times, but we've always come back together, and we just kind of make it work, I guess. I don't know.
So you're saying you're just complacent, like comfortable?
All right, Jared. We'll get your answer because I know there's an answer from you.
You love him, pieces.
I do love them, Scoops, I promise.
So, I mean, there was one night in Key West. I took a picture, and I have to find it, but
it was this story that prompted this question in my head too. Your Key West story, because I had a feeling it happened down there.
Yeah. So I take a picture of her. She was so we're there for my older brother's wedding, and I took a picture of her sitting on the couch, and she was dressed up. Hair was done. She was in this just most beautiful blue dress, and the best smile. And she had a flower in her hair, and I just like looked at her and you know, kind of just said, you know, this is who I want to be with for the rest of my life. So, yeah.
Did you have that moment at the wedding, the same moment that I had when you first saw her in her wedding dress when she first came through?
Yeah.
Or that same feeling.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at her, I kind of was like, you know, I'm gonna.
How did I get this woman?
Yeah, basically, I was
got
like,
the woman.
okay, I got her, and I'm gonna do everything I can to keep her. So
I've said this before. I think I said it in that Q&A episode. I feel like men are the more romantic of the sexes. I think the men are the more romantic ones.
yeah,
I feel like that's the
I mean, that answer said a little something there. I mean, this question said a little something.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Aaron,
not wrong.
next question, homie.
I show my love in different
that's why.
ways. Like I cook for you.
Justin.
and you never mind.
All right, we're gonna start with Corey and Alex.
This one.
What
Oh
is
my
your
God.
biggest turnoff in your partner, Alex?
I
Go.
hate that he asked this question trying to incriminate us.
Like, I'm not gonna say it's like a turn off, like pet peeves. Maybe I have pet peeves. Like
I think that's the same kind of thing.
I don't know, like when
Shall I
Corey's on
answer
his
this
phone
for
too
you?
much
She's giving you answers.
with the podcast or whatever he's doing, and I'm talking to him and he's glazed over and doesn't hear me. It's probably
Speak up. They can hear you. You can tell them.
That's about it, really. That's what
That's
the one
really
thing
it?
that really irritates me.
His hair.
When you totally don't hear me. Well, I mean, and when he
Thank you,
when
Gemma.
he buzzes his hair or grows it really long.
She hates both. That's
See,
why
when-
like-
last year I did
You
go.
like-
Normal haircut.
He goes on yours.
He has a lot of hair for his age. He should be happy.
So she hates when I'm on my phone too much for the podcast,
What's up,
And
King?
ignoring me.
trying to research and promote. And
I'm with children all day. So when I have adult conversation, I just talk about everything because I hold it in all day. I'm sitting with a baby all the time. Like she doesn't listen to me. God knows the other two don't.
Neither does your husband.
Apparently, no. Just sometimes.
It's not the same. It's not the one you're looking
All right,
for.
Corey. So you had a deep
know,
answer on the last question. I expect a good one here.
I had one pet peeve long ago, but I don't have that pet peeve anymore. She doesn't want me to say it, so I won't say that one.
Oh my God.
Let's see. You want something deep? I don't really think I have anything all that deep. Like I said, but this last year, like we've grown so much that there's really not much that we fight about, like ever. Like we used to have our gripes and our differences and whatnot, but
Question isn't fighting; it's turn off.
turn off. I know that, but that's what I'm saying. You usually
He's trying not to get in trouble.
You fight over turnoffs.
I know,
You fight over
and
pet
I'm
peeves.
encouraging bad decisions to be made.
I know you are. You've always done that with me. You've always been that dude.
I know
You've
he
always
likes
been that
when
dude.
I yell at Corey,
All
but I usually just yell at
I'm just trying to get
Mm.
the question answered.
right. So one pet peeve I have is when she goes to the bathroom and doesn't close the door behind her. She'll just piss with the door wide open.
There's always a dog, a cat, or a
I-
kid following.
I
me, so-
also find it to be a huge turnoff when she doesn't leave the toilet seat up for me. That's kind of rude. Kind of hate that.
You close the lid all the way.
I do close the lid all the way. She complains about that. I actually close it all the way, and she gets mad about that
Because
instead
when
of
I'm
leaving just the
sleepy in
seat
the
open.
night, I don't see that. It's so dark in that bathroom.
I'm still waiting for her to sit down in the middle of the night on a closed lid and piss on the closed lid.
I've been scared of that for a long time. Like if I was
It's
drinking
not
or
leaving
something,
it open.
just peeing all over the bathroom.
Just plastic wrap it, Corey.
Dude.
I should no. I'll be the one cleaning it, so I don't want to do that.
All right. So to the man
yeah.
who wrote the question, Jared, biggest turnoff.
I wonder if Sarah's the one that wrote this question, though.
No, I actually came
He
up
did.
with them.
He did.
See the biggest turnoff. So I would have to say that it's, and I'll save this one because it comes up in another question. So I'll say that one of the biggest turnoffs is that she expects me to be a mind reader.
Mm.
She says, "Do I have to ask you to do this?" I was like, "Yeah. Like if you want me to do something, I'll do it." Like I will never say no to my wife. She knows this. So if she asks me to do something, I've always said yes. But the thing is, she has to ask me to do it because I do get distracted and I do other things, my mind goes like a mile a minute. And if you want something done, you have to tell me, and I will do it. So I'm not a mind reader.
And like expect.
But you know what house chores need to get done?
I do.
So if I have to write you a to-do list, I might as well do it myself.
That's not how.
But no, because all guys will say this too.
See,
If you ask us to
I think
do
we
it,
all
we'll
do it. I think we're all
See,
guilty of
everybody
this.
But then you guys women get into the mentality if I have to write it down, I might as well just fucking do it. No, just write it down. Somebody else will do it.
So what I'm hearing is not only are the men the more romantic of the two sexes, we're also better at communicating.
Well, I mean,
Look at her staring, Jared. She wants to give me the dirty look, but she's staring at Jared instead.
Really?
I'll him first, and then you'll come later.
Communicating.
You wanted to see how he reacted to it, didn't you?
Yeah.
She's looking at me like, "You're friends with this guy?"
I always have so many things on my mind. I just expect you to understand. I'm always
Oh my
doing
God.
everything.
Yeah, no, that without communication, that doesn't happen.
Just be men. Men
I
really.
mentally
happen.
told you to do it. You might as well do it.
Yeah,
Men,
right?
men need to be told. Men need to be told.
That's the
I don't
thing.
know. I don't know if you guys are like me, but like when you work all day, you're tired, you're sore, you're all that. You want when you're home, you want to take
Yes,
time to do the things you enjoy, right? Because we spend so much time at work, and I'm not saying women, you spend a lot of time at work too. So I'm gonna say this goes towards you guys too. The house is never going to be clean all the time. We only get so much time in our lives to actually live. I don't want to go to work for 10 hours a day and then come home and clean for 3 hours and then have like an hour with my wife, my kids, and then go to sleep. I don't want that. So as long as things are clean enough to where, there's not bugs and animals in my house, I'm cool. I'm cool.
I get that, but that goes. So before I met Sarah, I dated this girl, and it was borderline hoarding, right? And I asked her all the time why her house was like this. I can't stand living that way. I have to have organization. But she said because she'd rather spend more time with her kids than clean her house. I mean, and I get that to a point.
Yeah, there's always a point. Like you want it to be livable.
Yes.
And I see Allie says you should take the trash out if it's full without me telling you. I mean, that's why I have kids. I don't know why you guys had kids, but I had them so that they get chores and they do these chores for me because I'm tired and old.
So I'm going to add to this. It's called women's intuition, right? Not men's intuition. Women can read minds. Women can tell by looking at us what we need.
He speaks fast.
We don't read fucking minds. Just tell us.
But if
That's
you
true.
pay
Just
attention
tell
to
us.
my habits
It's
and everything,
that
you
easy.
should be able to figure out what I need.
We in nature are idiots.
Well, it's because we prioritize
Things
differently.
We put them down. Just tell us.
We prioritize differently, though. We
Kids
prioritize
equals
differently.
free labor for sure.
Yes. See,
Yeah.
Gemma's on the same page.
Yeah, Eli does the trash and
Ethan can't get the bag into the dumpster. Makes sense. My kid's old enough; he could do it. He
I
can get it in
do
there.
though. I
he's
mean,
an
there
adult-sized child. So
I do things without being told. I mean, there are days where I come home, I'll do the dishes or I'll take the trash out, and I don't have to be told.
but-
It's because
I'm gonna stir the pot here.
if
You've been doing that lately. I'm
Because
proud of
if you
you.
leave it long enough, and you seem to think that if you leave it there, like the other half is going to do it, and then she has the same idea where she thinks if she leaves it long enough, somebody's going to do it. So I'm like, finally, I just give in. I'm like, fine, I will take it out.
How often do you get questioned for your motive when you do things unasked?
same, Gemma. Eli is a freaking giant.
Did you hear what Justin said?
No.
I'm here to stir the pot.
Well,
He said,
she does
I
this all
want-
the time. She'll tell me all the time, like I'll sit there and I'll kind of like maybe tickle her back or like massage her back, like when we're laying in bed. And then when I ask her to reciprocate the favor, like, hey,
It's a business transaction.
can you tickle my
That's not
arm?
doing
She goes,
something nice.
so you can't do something for me without expecting anything in return, can you? I'm like, I did something nice for you. Do something nice for me.
Or you get questioned why you took the trash out or
Yes.
did something
Like,
around
what
the
do you-
house without being
Yeah,
asked to.
"What are you expecting tonight? Like, what? I'm tired already.
Right.
Like, what are you
They
expecting
want
tonight?"
us to do this stuff, but then we get questioned why we did it.
Yes.
Not anymore. Don't
Because you're
worry.
expecting something in return versus just
But
doing it.
not
out
all
of
the time.
responsibility.
That's just assumed.
Because that's what naturally happens. If you took the initiative and just did it because it's part of being an adult, then
Maybe it's just our plan. Don't do. All of a sudden, do it, and then we get treated.
Yeah, Allie. Yeah, I love you.
yeah.
But now, Sarah,
Fucking Allie.
biggest turnoff.
Oh, he's not allowed to shave. Oh, he doesn't.
Oh, Corey either. He's not allowed to.
Oh my god, I get disgusted. I'm like, you're not allowed to come see me until it grows back.
She has told me the same thing. I'm not allowed to because she won't look at me.
No.
I want to though, man. Like I can't. The mustache, like it gets saturated, right? Like I drink something, I'm like, man, I gotta keep wiping my mustache. I'm not used to having facial hair.
It's a small price to pay.
You've had it for
I
so
know.
long.
Listen, man, nothing beats the tickler. Nothing beats the French tickler.
My cheeks are
Oh,
just
Jared. Next
color
question.
flag behind
She's
So
gonna
used
start
to
looking
Jared
like she's
being back
drinking
there.
wine.
It's coffee.
Daddy, chill.
All right. We'll start with Sarah and Jared on this one. How do you communicate effectively and resolve conflicts in a healthy way?
Well, I mean, I think it's healthy, but she kind of questions me all the time. So before I got into fire protection and building inspections, I went to school for psychology. So when I deal with conflicts, I'm very calm and collective. This is how I talk when we get into an argument, and she, she'll raise her voice, and I'm sitting here like laid back, and I'll talk to her like this, and I'll just start asking questions. And she keeps telling me, like, don't pull that psychology bullshit on me. And I'm just like, this is how I try to resolve conflicts. I think it's healthy. She's told me before, like, for her, I need to give her a minute. I need to let her calm down before I even try to approach her.
Any time to process.
So
that's all it is.
It's hard for me. I have to deal with issues right away, right? I don't like to let things linger, and it pisses her off. So for us in a healthy way, I've kind of learned to like, okay, I'm going to give her a little bit of time, and then I'll come back and I'll push her buttons again. I'll be like, so can we discuss this? And she's like, I need more time. But yeah, I mean, I just think if you know what pisses each other off, you kind of learn what not to do. So in a healthy way, yeah, or what to do. So I kind of have learned that I back off a little bit more.
And that's a learning process. Like, as the relationship grows, you have to push buttons to find out.
Yes.
How far can you go before it's like, all right, there's my limit?
Yep, you can't go there. Yep. Corey and Alex.
Oh, I was just gonna see if Sarah agreed with that,
Oh yeah.
or if she had her own ideas.
No,
I like to get it out. Like, I like to yell a little bit.
I get it out, and then we gotta like walk away so I have time to like process what we both said to make sure it's like, are we fixing it, or are we just now arguing and not getting anywhere? So yeah.
I think that's an important part of it, is if we're yelling, or if we're getting our voices up there, our volume up there, definitely separate, take some time to cool down. And I think one thing that's worked for us in the past, it's maybe not recommended, but if you're heated and you're really mad and you can't speak without raising your voice, like, I'll go into my own room, I'll come into the studio here, I'll sit, I'll stew. And I think texting back and forth, if you can't control your volume, I think texting back and forth to get your point across can sometimes help. It can bring the anger levels down enough for you to come back together and then talk it over. That's, like I said, it's maybe not something I would recommend for everybody, because you kind of want to talk about it in person, but
I feel like it also validates what the other person was saying. So you're not talking over somebody and they're actually taking the time to read your comment.
Yeah.
It
That's a big
validates-
part of it.
Yeah.
And you're making sure you hear each other, or read what each other, what's on each other's minds. That's when you're a mind reader, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
could work
cheesy enough?
for like married couples who are around each other all the time.
Mhm.
On the single side of that shit don't work. You can't tell emotion through text at all.
Yeah, but we've been together for
So if there's
long
a disagreement that way, like you're not learning anything from it. It's just an exchange of words with no context to them.
There's the word. I've always disliked that explanation that you can't tell tone, but that's what context is. Context is tone in writing. You're supposed to be, I mean, if it's written properly.
But if you're
should
getting
be
to
able
know somebody through texting and shit like that, like you if you don't spend a lot of time with them, you don't know where they're at.
Yeah, I mean that's
what I mean.
You got to be super clear with it, and obviously, if I say something, she knows my tone. Like if I'm typing something out, she'll know how it's gonna come across because I don't like if there's something I don't usually say, she'll know that like maybe I am a little bit more pissed off, or if it's something where just certain phrases that I use, she'll know because I've used those phrases before. So
Tommy says, I feel texting can be effective when a conversation needs to happen when the kids are around. You just got to be super clear.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, especially when you got kids, man.
With you bringing that up, though, Corey, that makes me think. That might be why I sucked at dating for the last 8 years. Communication skills now have to be so much different because you have to go through text. Nobody really talks on the phone anymore.
Yeah, I'd hate to have to date in today's day.
God damn. How about
we have like the slightest disagreement, and Lena's like, "Don't fight." I'm like, "We aren't fighting."
It's called communication, little girl.
Half the time we're joking, and she's like, "Don't fight."
Yeah,
like, we're not. You'd know.
I'm kind of proud that we haven't fought much since she's been around.
No, we really don't fight that much.
We've had our moments.
Well, that whole experience. So,
yeah,
that was your answer earlier.
Allie just wants to square up with her husband.
Oh, I mean, there are times when Corey just picks at me, and I'd like to square up with him. But that's usually just like for fun.
That's when I just try to show you some new wrestling moves.
It's playful and leads to babies, okay?
Sarah,
no more of those.
She goes
yourself.
Fingers. Like
not myself.
Sarah will grab your fingers and try to bend them back. Like that's her move.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Because she knows that hurts me. So
Corey's mom taught me to pull leg hair when I first started dating him. She's like, if he's pissing you off, just pull his arm hair or his leg hair.
My mom was all about taking her side.
That is important.
Your mom would fight.
Nope.
Totally.
Yeah.
It was a fighty one.
Aaron.
I'm surprised we're not getting more questions from the viewers. We got one.
They must like the questions that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Child,
all right.
Just sliding down my legs. What's happening?
I don't know. Corey and Alex, we'll start there. I don't know where I was. How do you celebrate your achievements and milestones as a couple? You guys are coming up on 20 years, right? Or did that just happen?
February 28th. We try to send the big kids for sleepovers so we have time by ourselves. And we'll go out for like a quiet dinner, or like sometimes we just get like Chinese food and we stay home and we just watch stupid movies. Stop it.
I wanted to make Justin spit out his drink.
You're an ass.
Yeah.
But we just try to take time for ourselves.
Yeah, and it's, everyone always says it's important to keep dating even though you're married. You need, I would say, at least one date night a month, man, where it's just no kids, it's just you guys. You got to make sure you're connecting still. What did you say?
I said, oh God,
Tommy. Make sure, when you do go out, it's minimal technology, minimal cell phones at dinner. You got to try to talk. And honestly, like that's when we have our best conversations, because we don't have kids around and we can talk about adult things.
Yeah, we just did Saturday. We just went on a date.
But for our date, we still celebrate our dating anniversary because it's so close to Valentine's Day. we don't do Valentine's Day. So we
Yeah.
skip Valentine's Day and make a big night out of our dating anniversary.
Is there a reason you don't celebrate Valentine's Day?
We do that with the kids.
Yeah.
Corey
So
and Lena, that's their
yep,
annual
we
date
do a
night.
date night with the kids, and I'll take Lena out. She'll take Eli out,
That's
and
cool.
kind of like to try to teach them how
Eli
a date
always
should
dresses
go.
up.
I want to teach my daughter what she should, expect from a man in the future. And I want her to teach Eli what he should act like when he's out with a girl, that kind of thing, But I don't know.
Mila comes everywhere too.
To me, Valentine's Day is it's so close to our dating anniversary. I don't think we have to participate in it.
Yeah, we just never have.
And it's just, again, it's one of those commercialized things. You can go on a date whenever, I don't think, I think there's too much put into Valentine's Day. I think it's really just a commercialized thing.
In all reality, it's only the day before the greatest day ever. So
It's second greatest day.
that's it. No, the greatest
Second,
day.
what about my birthday, you butthole?
I was referring to yours. No one cares about my birthday.
Oh.
1 second.
Well,
Mark, that's right. Our job as men is to make our daughter's standards high.
Agreed. Yeah. Eli and I have been going out since he was really little, and he always dresses up. He'll even wear like a tie and a suit jacket.
Allie, we still take Mila on our date nights. We get rid of the two big kids, but we still take her.
She's an angel.
I mean, she's so young that she doesn't understand what we're talking about anyway. So it's really okay.
She had a blast last night or Saturday night when we went out. Yeah, that was last night, right?
Yeah, we had a great night out last night.
Delicious food.
yeah, it looked like it. Where's that new brewery?
Runaway Train Brewery is where Irving Cliff was. They bought out Irving
okay.
Cliff.
Food
It looks
is
a lot nicer in there
amazing.
now.
It's beautiful.
They have a room upstairs, like a rec room upstairs. It's got billiard tables. It's got darts and all kinds of stuff up there.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice spot.
The food was really good.
Yeah, food was good.
All right,
Mila
we'll
loved
jump
it.
down to Sarah and Jared. How do you guys celebrate your achievements and milestones?
Well, I mean, we talk about it. I mean, obviously, we know what our goals are. She knows what I strive to be, career-wise. So when we hit like certain milestones, we're going to do the same thing. We go out, we'll celebrate as a family.
We're just hanging out at home.
Yeah, but we always push each other to do bigger and better things. If that's what she wants to do, or if that's what I want to do, we just support each other in whatever it is. There was a period where she stayed home for a few years because she was just looking for her next career. And I told her, that's fine. Like, what, if that's what she wants to do, like, we're going to figure out a way to make it happen. And then, so we're just always just basically supporting each other in whatever decisions that we make. So
I know we're not too
Sarah,
excited.
do you agree?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we do go out to dinner. We just stay home and watch a movie or something.
God, that's underrated though, isn't it? Getting to stay home and relax and do nothing and just enjoy each other's company. That's underrated. I'm definitely a
nap dates
homebody.
were an actual thing.
You
That
wish
would be
what?
Awesome. Nap dates.
Nap dates?
Oh, I would love
Yes. That would
Dude,
be
Alex has
so
been a big
nice.
sleeper
I'm all,
since I
I'm
met
all
her.
for naps, but she's like, why did you let me take a nap? I'm like, because you look comfortable. I'm sorry. Like,
Because
she'll
she'll
wake
be up
me up
all
To
night.
be a mind reader.
she'll
Yep,
wake
back
me
to that.
up, and I'm just like, why did you just wake me up? I was taking a nap.
Wake me up before
Because you should
go
be
home.
doing something and you should know that.
Yes.
Being home is okay, Tommy. 100%. Nothing wrong with it.
Sometimes we just sit on the front porch and relax.
That's our favorite in the
It's our
summer.
quiet spot.
It is relaxing. When I've been up there, I
Relax.
just like sitting on your guys' front porch.
Yeah.
I want to build a back porch, maybe this year if we're lucky enough. Just because the sun in the evening is just right in your face on that front porch.
Yeah.
I'd much
Yeah.
prefer to sit out back, and then I could, watch the kids play in the backyard.
Well, we want to get a pool too.
Just hang out back there. I don't
pull a permit for that though.
Yeah, I know. I
There's
know, Mr. Inspector.
Ours is we don't
Aaron,
have
brother.
it's not hard to do any of that
Yeah.
around here.
Keep you guys on track here. Jesus Christ. Sarah and
job,
Jared,
Justin.
what's
Come on.
one goal you would like to achieve with your partner?
I would say buy a house.
Or have you already
No, we haven't. So we've been renting. So,
achieved it?
our goal is to buy a house together. We've been renting.
It's a great area up here, guys.
Yeah, I know. Corey wants us to move up there.
That's too far from
I
work.
can go anywhere. She's got to be near a hospital. So
There's a hospital right in
There's a
town.
hospital close.
As many as I've heard stories. No, thank you.
No, the one in town is absolutely fucking terrible.
That's not selling them on it.
No,
Not how you sell the area, Alex.
The Scranton ones are only 40 minutes away. It's only
Yeah.
a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably
They're
a
much better.
possibility more than Pennsylvania, just because we have family in the Carolinas. But no, our goal is to get a house. My goal, she doesn't like. I always wanted to have another kid, but I think we're stuck with one. I to a point, like I do, but then I don't, because I realize, and this is like no fault to her, but I don't know if I can do the whole thing again with the pregnancy. So yeah, I know it was tough for you, but it was
I was
tough.
about to say,
It was tough for me. Okay, I got all the cravings, and it was weird.
You did. But you know what? You contributed 50% of that. You can have 50% of the symptoms.
I wish that
That's
would be
a-
awesome.
That actually is a medical thing, though, isn't it?
It
What's it
is.
called?
It's weird.
It's called sympathy symptoms.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
I
for
wish
real
we
people.
could have had half of this pregnancy because Mila's was crap from start to finish. It was really hard.
Oh my gosh. Can't. Oh,
Pregnancy.
no.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing you're so cute.
So Corey and Alex, your goals. Have you achieved it? Do you have another one set?
My goal as a couple is for stamina and longevity.
I feel
That's
that.
not what you're gonna say as your answer.
No, go ahead. You go first. You go first. Well, I think of a serious one. Kill Justin.
Oh my god. Anyway. I don't know. I mean,
Justin, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm
Justin,
good.
You all right?
Baby.
I would like to move further out into the country and have more property, but that's like if we ever hit the lottery, because it's too expensive to do that now.
Yeah.
But as a couple, I don't know. I like to do projects together, so I'd like to work on a lot of that together this coming year. And
I would like zero debt.
yeah,
You want to
for
get
sure.
another house, but I want to pay this one off.
Yeah,
I want to pay the car off, and I want to be able to be comfortable
yeah.
because it is difficult to live on a single income, and that's not a crack, because I love having you as a stay-at-home mother, because we could not operate without you being home. So when you hear me say that it's difficult, it's because it's literally almost impossible in today's economy.
Yeah.
And I oftentimes I think about how amazed I am that I'm not drowning yet, just with just my income. But I mean, we get help where we need it, so I'm happy with that. But if we could have no house payment, no car payment, I'd be happy. But like we got a good deal on the house, so
We bought the
don't-
house
We don't
at
have a shit
literally the
ton to owe.
perfect time, because shit hit the fan the year after we bought the house. So
Mhm.
Yes.
our interest rate is crazy.
We got this house for 78,000,
77.
77,000. No, every time I say 77, you say 78. But anyway,
You gotta be
under
technical,
80,000 bucks.
Corey. Yeah.
Under 80,000 bucks. So like
But our
I
interest
told
rate
her,
is
I told her yesterday, I was like, if we could take income taxes from every year for the next 7 or 8 years, we could pay this shit off. Like just add to it every year and be done with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we
God,
also
how
need to
comfortable that
improve
would be.
things like we
Yeah,
improved, so.
That's the tough part. That's the tough part. But
We
being
wanna do a
debt free is a
couple
big goal.
That's a life goal, I think, for everybody too. That would be so
Yeah.
nice.
I know, right?
Aaron.
I hope Asgardian King is right.
Damn.
I hope Joe's right.
Well, we'll just stay up with you, Corey. Men working and women staying at home. Thoughts?
That's the dream. If that's what you want, that's the dream. I wish we had the economy for it. Like I'm telling you.
Well, I threw
I could not
in there as a wrench because I know last time we were talking about this, we wanted to get into like the whole traditional gender roles between a man and a woman to see where we kind of differ on the whole issue.
I don't think it's something that should be forced, but I think that if that's the lifestyle that you choose, that's how you should be allowed to do it. It's just tough, like I said, with the economy. I absolutely love having her home every day. Like, man, nothing beats coming home from work and having dinner either ready or already started, because I'm so hungry when I get home. But you know, it allows her to keep the house in order. It allows her to take care of the kids. It allows her, for now, to homeschool them. We're still up in the air about that for next year, but being able to take care of the home and the kids is huge to me. And I always say that her and I were born in the wrong era, the wrong generation, because I wish we were in a time where that could be something where we could do it and thrive on it.
I mean, I have to budget our groceries like crazy. I have to go to Aldi so we can afford more. And
why don't you tell them how you feel about being a stay-at-home mom? What are your thoughts on it?
I love
Coupon,
it.
lady coupon.
I don't know.
I told her to talk to Liz about it.
I need to become a crazy coupon person.
But
you should.
Is this something you saw yourself being when you were younger? Did you always think, man, I would love to be a stay-at-home mother, take care of the home, take care of the kids?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, then I can also work on my garden and homesteading type of stuff. So those are my things that I like to do. And then I can teach the kids what I want them to learn. And
said it pretty well over here. The cost of daycare after school is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, where if the woman can't make a wage, that would counter the cost of daycare. Like if you're basically just paying for daycare at that point, what's the point of it?
You're losing money and time at that point.
Yeah, it gets expensive.
It's almost impossible to live, even with two incomes if you have kids.
So if we were to be anywhere close to her work, daycare is basically like $2,700 a month for some daycares. That's ridiculous.
Holy fuck! So that's even more expensive than here.
Yeah, so I like living in where we're at. I travel about an hour 40. I'm at an hour 30 to work. She's about 30 minutes to work, but I would rather stay here, pay for daycare because we actually found a good daycare and it's cheap, and I will travel to work anywhere rather than moving somewhere and paying, anywhere between like $2,000, $3,000 a month for a mortgage, and then having to shell that out in daycare, because like the more you get closer to Northern Virginia, it gets expensive. So I'll travel all day long.
Yeah, I don't.
But the thing that sucks about that is you lose time.
Yes, and
you're losing that time at home.
I had a mom at the daycare who, if she didn't work, I mean, she owned the business, so she had to work, but she basically didn't make any money because her kids all had to go to daycare, and she had 3 kids in daycare.
Yeah.
But she had to go to work.
I think most people want to be able to do the traditional one income home and be able to thrive on it. The economy's just tanked for the last 50 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most people want that, whether it's a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, just one income take care of it, because it's more family time together at that point.
I could do it before I had a kid. I can't do it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I get bored.
Speaking of kids.
I'll be right back.
There's never a dull moment in this house. So yeah, right, Aunt Cindy?
Yeah.
Shit, for sure. For sure, Mila.
Stand the foot on that. But Aaron, on to the next one. We're gonna have to start with you, Corey and Alex. Perfect. How do you balance work, family, and personal time?
Same, Allie.
Well, I wanna address chat real quick. Allie says we live paycheck to paycheck, so I can stay home and not put Oakley in daycare. I also don't trust anyone with my kids after all the horror stories. Yeah, and we're the same. We live paycheck to paycheck, and it's crazy because I have to balance out what I pay each paycheck. You know, I might slack off on one bill to pay another bill and try to catch up the next one. It's definitely a struggle. It's definitely tough, but we're trying to make it work. Tax season definitely helps catch up. But I mean, it's tough, but it's what I do, man. It's what we got to do. Judo says it's rough at times, but my wife stays home with the kids while I work. And it's definitely rough, man. Judo, it's definitely rough. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love having my wife home with the kids. And like I said, man, I love when she makes a nice home cooked meal for me and it's ready when I get home. That's
I cook dinner pretty much every night.
I love her cooking, man. I'd rather eat her cooking than go out any day of the week. But all right, I guess I'll get back to the question. Do you want to answer this one? Do you want to go first? How do you balance your work with family time?
My work of raising 3 children.
So it's tough. And this is gonna go back to what her pet peeve is, her turnoff, if you will, with me is work. I'm up at 5:30. I'm out of the house at 6:15, and I don't get home until 5 or a little bit after. So most of my day, about 12 hours worth, is spent, because with work. I get home and it's time for dinner. It's time to clean up. And by the time that's done, it's about 6:15, 6:30, depending on how soon she got dinner started.
I try to have it ready for 5.
I've got like 3 hours before the kids go to bed. They're in their own damn world anyway. They don't like to do a lot of the whole family time thing unless it's the weekend. And I don't know, man. It's really it's a struggle trying to balance everything because we have this podcast, and the last couple of months I feel like we've done something right and we're catching a little bit of fire with it. Is it the most popular thing in the world? No, but we are having success.
It should be.
We are having success. We are getting support from people, and most importantly, we love doing it. This is something we enjoy, and we've put a lot of work and time and effort into it. And having something that you love like that in life, something fun to do, a hobby, I think it's important. But it's also important to find a balance. And I ran into this problem once when I was streaming on Twitch because I wanted so badly to be successful at it that, I started to slack off in the balancing part of it with family time and everything. And even if I wasn't streaming, I was spending time trying to network, going to other streams, and it ended up consuming me. And I will admit that sometimes this consumes me as well, because if I'm not doing the show, silly dog.
I hate that dog.
If I'm not doing the show, then I'm trying to look at content to help it out. I'm trying to promote it in places. And I'm trying to read up and research different topics on my phone while I'm sitting there watching TV. And that's kind of something that she absolutely hates. But it's important for everyone to have their own thing, men and women. I highly suggest women have something for themselves too, because you can't just live for others. You have to make yourself happy. You can't expect other people to make you happy, even your spouse. You have to be able to create your own happiness as well. I think we all need something. But aside from that, definitely find your balance and talk to your partner about it. And women, talk to your partner. If it's something that's upsetting you, they're spending too much time doing it, communicate openly, be honest, and work something out. But I don't know, man. I think just having your hobby, having that thing that you love that keeps you in the right mindset for life is important. Did I go off too much? Did I sound awkward with that? Like I said,
not awkward, but you went somewhere with that. It was
sorry.
Nice.
I tangent. I apologize.
Alex, how do you balance your work, family, personal time, even though your work is your family? So,
and I don't have personal time most of the time. I do try to take some time for myself here and there when I can, even if it's just taking a hot bath with my book and reading or whatever.
After dinner, I get the baby and she gets to go take a bath.
something so I can be quiet.
Mhm.
I mean, once it's summertime, then I have my garden. So I go out and I can at least get some quiet time in there.
She's
But
smiling.
it's hard. I mean, some days it's really hard to balance it because some days the big kids are fighting and I can't get Mila to take a nap. And by the time Corey gets home, I feel like my brain's going to explode. So that I'm a little mean.
And Lena
So
talks
that's when the
nonstop.
door opens and Corey has to play catcher. Shit, there's the baby.
Oh,
Well,
this is something I'm glad she doesn't do because she understands the decompression time. Like, not that I need to be left alone, but I don't want to be swarmed. Like, if my daughter comes running up to my face immediately when I get home from work, she'll scold her. She'll yell at her. She'll be like, give him a few minutes. He just got home.
yeah,
Leave him
she's
alone.
a lot. Lena's a lot.
I think everybody needs that. Again, man, woman, whoever. You need that time when you get home from work to decompress a little bit. You need to not have stuff in your face. Like, if I got home and as soon as I got through the door,
I'm gonna kill the
she
dog.
started. Usually you can't hear it because I have the microphone set differently. But if I walked through the door and she started saying to me immediately, "Can you grab the baby? Can you take out the trash? Can you do this? Can you do that?" I'd probably lose my mind. But I think everyone needs that time to decompress.
I live by myself and I stay in my car for 15 minutes every day when I get home. It's just a habit.
Sometimes I need just like a 15 to 30-minute break from Lena. Like if she follows me everywhere. She never stops talking. I sat down today I was talking to Corey and we had the TV on and she sat down right behind me and she talked. And I honestly it was like complete overstimulation. So sometimes I have to hide. Like laundry room, I hide in there. She doesn't work in there.
Oh God. Jared
I mean,
and
you
Sarah?
met her.
Sometimes I think you're in there like reaching into the dryer extra long, waiting for me to come in.
Oh God. Oh Jesus.
So I'll probably go, and then she can criticize me for it because I knew it was coming. But I spend a lot of time on the computer. I get up at 4:00 most mornings, and I get home at 5. And then when I get home, I'm usually
Up the
stairs. I turn the computer on, and I'll either play games, I'll do research, I'll do my little AI stuff that I like to do. I just like messing around with a lot of different designs, but I spend a lot of time on the computer. New game comes out like it did last week. I've been all week. I've just been up there. I don't think I came downstairs at all, like this entire week. So I'm not very good at balancing everything. I used to be, and this was the whole thing why you saw me disappear for that good amount of time, is because I could not balance for the life of me. I was getting overwhelmed, and I had to basically decompress and just kind of go off grid. I got rid of my social media. I got rid of everything. And
then forgot to tell a certain friend of yours that you changed your phone number.
Yeah, we were a little nervous.
Yeah, basically. and then they thought that I just didn't want to talk to him until I reached out to Corey, and he goes, "Oh,
yeah, dude," because I texted your old number that same day, and then you texted me back, and I didn't realize it was from a new number.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, he finally responded."
Yeah, but that was me not being able to balance. I've since found it. Besides this week, where I've actually been playing this new game, I've kind of learned how to manage it all. I used to set boundaries, like, okay, 8:00 rolls around, I'm off. No matter what I'm doing, 8:00, I get off and go downstairs, and I'll spend the rest of my night with my wife, and we'll binge watch something before we go to bed. But I find like balancing that. So I need to work on a few things. Like I get it. She comes home. She needs to do the same thing, right? She needs to be able to decompress. So I need to give her that 30 minutes that I get like 3 hours of. But yeah, so I'm probably not the best with the whole balancing thing.
Do you think we should make schedules for our significant others? Like we should like set it up where we have this amount of time, like 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock for us to get on the computer. And then from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, we do chores around the house. Then from 8 o'clock to 9 or 8 o'clock to 10 is spouse time.
I used to have I like not to have phones when you're in the bedroom, right? Like that, the whole thing, like when we're going to bed, like phones down. So it just gives us time to sit there and talk and relax. But she can't go to bed when I do. So she's overstimulated. So she's got to like have noise on. She's gonna have noise on in the background. Even when it's like negative 20 degrees outside, she'll turn the AC on just because it makes noise.
I raised my hand and the seat went down. But yeah, I keep my fan on all winter. If I was allowed to have an air conditioner, I would. My father was that way.
Oh yeah, we don't have central AC, so we keep the window units.
Yep.
But technically, we have to take them out per HOA. But ours is on the second floor; you can't really see it, so I keep it in there. But yeah, I turn it on and I like freeze him out. He's like, I need like 30 blankets, and I'm like, it's hot.
I listen, Sarah. I'm the same way. I have to be cold to sleep. I cannot sleep in a hot room, and I complain to her sometimes when she won't let me turn the AC on late summer going into fall, because I'm like, listen, man, you can either let me have this AC on and you put on an extra blanket, or you can wake up to a puddle of my sweat on your side of the bed.
Well, that's why he won't cuddle with me. He won't cuddle with me because I get too hot.
I can't. She's a furnace.
He's the same exact way.
I am a fucking furnace, man.
Yeah, it's gross.
So I'm with you. Team AC, Sarah. Team AC.
Yes. Even on in the winter.
I mean, we sleep with the fan on, and at this point, we need the sound. But
if I could pull that off, I would, man.
Oh yeah, I definitely need the white noise. Can't go to sleep without it. Too quiet? Nope.
Oh my god.
None of us
not
sleep
the
with
same. It's not the same.
The fan is like the perfect white noise.
Yeah, but we all
I always have a TV on in the background.
The baby.
Silence is
I have to pause it for the podcast. I have to have noise in the background.
You know what was eerie was when she was still down at the hospital with the baby, and I had to come home with the kids and sleeping in that empty bed. If I did not have that AC on, like I laid down the one night before turning on the AC, that sound was creepy. Oh no, it wasn't that I didn't turn on the AC. It's because the day I got home, the dog had chewed through the wire of the AC, so I wasn't able to use it. I had to get a new one the next day.
It is
called me to come snuggled.
I actually
made it worse.
Sarah went on a trip for Thanksgiving. I actually turned on the AC just because I was like, well, I can't sleep without the noise now because it's there.
That's me with the fan. I got so
made
used
you
to
feel
Corey
like she was there
having
with you.
Yes.
I don't sleep well with Corey not near me. But when we were in Danville, it was different because we had twin beds. So even when Corey was there, we were sleeping in twin beds.
That was a big thing when I did overnights for a year.
Yeah, I didn't sleep well.
Yeah.
Now I mean, I'm so tired. I just pass out.
Ooh. Let's start with Jared and Sarah. How do you deal with common challenges such as money, which is probably the biggest fight everybody ever has?
Yeah.
Parenting, in-laws, or health issues?
It's a good one. So let's start with money. So I'm not one to be in control of everything. I like Sarah that, she does most of the stuff, but we have our separate accounts and then we have a joint one. And I told her I like to see everything come out of the joint just for the fact that I know, and it's nothing against trust or anything like that. I know where our money is going to. The bills are getting paid. I know that things are going smoothly. So we have a joint account where stuff just comes out of, and then, she's got her separate accounts. I got my separate accounts. And we really don't ask each other about those. So, that it's not a controlling thing. I have to know that bills are getting paid.
So and you don't wake up one morning and your car's gone?
Exactly. So I want to make sure, okay, did we pay this? It's something for me just to know that it's getting done. Parenting, we don't different a lot. I grew up different than she did. I don't know. I don't yell at. I don't like. I don't swat. I don't do any of these things. She doesn't really yell at him, but she has her moments because it's overstimulation, and I kind of have to tell her like, hey, calm down a little bit. So, and she doesn't like me telling her those things. So I kind of, but we just have different parenting styles. I'm like I'm more calm and relaxed about the whole parenting thing. In-laws, I think is fine.
Yeah,
her mom's great. I like her mom. And then health issues, she gets on me. Sarah works at a hospital, and she's always telling me that I need to stop doing certain things.
You don't listen, so
vape and smoke and stuff like that. So, but other than that, I mean, I feel great. Like I don't have many health issues. So,
yet.
For somebody like me who smokes and
You
stuff,
don't smarten up.
I could still run a mile. I could still do a lot of things. It really doesn't hold me back.
Really,
So,
you get winded just going down the stairs.
I do. I'm not saying that I'm not winded. I'm just saying that
Come on now.
We're getting old.
Yeah.
But I totally get the one joint account and then having your separate accounts. Both people are chipping in and all the bills are getting paid. You don't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah.
And then your money's your money.
The common bills he knows are getting paid, but if he wants to like buy a video game or whatever, that comes out of his account. That's not.
Yeah. But that's a fantastic idea. That
it works for us.
Yeah.
So.
Corey and Alex.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad he talked about that because that was a topic that I had thought about before, hearing certain people talk about certain things when it came to that. Like I know some people who have their own accounts when they're married. Just that's it. His account, her account. And I find that strange. I find it
Janelle
weird.
And I did.
That's not going to change my answer. I find that strange.
I know. I'm just letting you know.
I find that strange because to me, it's a partnership. To me, it's a partnership. And I'm of the old school thought, my money is her money is my money. It's all our money
anymore, so.
It's all our money. If I want to get something, if I want to buy a game for myself, I always run it by her. I won't just go out and grab something on my own. And it's not like some guys will be like, oh, you got to ask your wife if you could do this. No, I have the respect for my wife to let her know I would like this. Can we manage it? Can we afford it? So to me, having that joint account, it's just a partnership thing. It's both of our money, no matter what. And with that, like I generally, since she's the one that's home, I let her handle the bills most of the time. She's got all the apps. She goes on, she pays them.
Well, you do certain ones, and then
I do the mortgage. But like with those couples that I know that have their own accounts, I'm told, okay, so I handle this bill and that bill, and they handle this bill, and that bill. And again, to each their own. That's fine. I like that you guys have the joint account and then you have your own split accounts. But I always think something awkward or think something odd when you're like, oh, we have our own accounts. Like, I don't know. Like Jared said, his isn't a trust issue because you guys have your own, you have yours together, and then you have each have your own. So basically, I guess it's so that Jared, you could spend your money how you want. Sarah, you spend your money how you want. Mm-hmm. So that situation is different. But the having two separate ones, I think is awkward to me in my own head. We've had the
same one since we got married.
Yeah, well, we've had the same one since before that, I think, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, I think I added you onto mine.
It was like our early 20s we were on the same account.
We were living together, paying rent together, so we just...
But again, like Jared said, theirs works for them. Yeah. So if it works for you, that's good. I feel like if I wanted to have my own account, she might question me. She might be like, why do you need your own account?
Yeah, I'm very much the like budgeter, or I'm frugal. So when I see him spend like an excessive amount of money on something, and I'm like, why? You can find it cheaper here, but why did you have to do it here? And he tends to also buy gas at like near his work, and I'm like, buy it before you leave from here because it's so cheaper.
Yeah.
So parenting, I mean, I think we're a lot better now than we used to be because I used to get mad when Corey would yell at the kids. But honestly, most of the time now, I threaten them with him. I'm like, listen, Dad's going to get home and then you're going to get your ass handed to you if they don't listen to me all day. Because I'll fill him in if they're being really bad. I try like to not
I
do
hear
that
about
unless
it through the
they're
day.
really getting to me because I don't want to bombard him with issues when he's at work.
I think I'm looking at Fun's comment in chat, and I think that's where my mind goes. And let me tell you why. It's because the people that I know that have this have their own accounts and no joint account at all. They were in a relationship before, and that relationship failed, and they got divorced. And it's like past trauma, I guess. And they are just, to me, it's like they are just preparing themselves for the worst. They are protecting themselves from a worst case scenario.
So look, I'm gonna weigh in on that only because us having our separate accounts, we don't have something legally in place that says that my account is my account. So I still have to give him 50% of whatever I have in my account, just like he has to give me, unless we, say, hey, what's in your account, you get to keep regardless. But then I also feel like the couples that have like a savings account in that event, if something were to happen, like divorce, whatever the case may be, there's a safety net. But then also I feel like there are some couples that just don't do it because maybe the male or female would be like controlling, like that without you having that money, you can't go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For the first few years of our marriage, I had backup plans. Because you're right. I mean, it's happened before. I've had past relationships where, I'm the one that did everything. I had a house, I had all this stuff, and it didn't work out. But I had the stuff over here set aside, and I did that. And after a few years with Sara, I got rid of it. That wasn't my goal, my plan anymore. My plan was to make things work, and basically, might sound cheesy, but I mean, I think I found my soulmate. I mean, after I realized that is when I realized like I don't need to have any of that stuff anymore. It's all going to be in one place, and it is. The separate accounts, even though it's separate, our paychecks go into the one joint account. So it's not like I can't see where it goes to. If I can see a transfer goes into her account, that's different. I know that she's putting money into her account, or she knows I'm putting money into my account. So it's a lot different. I mean, we know where our money goes.
And I think it helps around like the holidays or like birthdays or something like that too. Like I don't see how much he's spending because even though I may not know what it is, I know how much he spent on it, and that would drive me crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to your parenting. Sorry, we got off on a tangent.
That's okay. That's okay, because it was a topic that I was very curious about, because again, from the reactions in chat, that really does seem like a thing that's based on experience. The separate accounts thing seems like it's something based on experience. Okay, you say that, but that's what it shows that's what it shows
I know,
me from the reactions. I don't know if you saw Annie's comment. So how about those who aren't in long-term marriage, Justin? At your age, what do you see now that you think is important?
Hold on. Let me read it. Yeah, I know. I wasn't even in the comments, so.
And Justin thought that he wasn't going to get asked any questions.
Right? That's why I said we got to have perspective from someone who's not in a long-term relationship.
Those aren't in a long-term marriage. I don't.
So what she's saying is like,
I get the end of it, but not the first part.
Jared and Sara are in a long-term relationship. Alex and I are in a long-term relationship. Like her and I, we share the same bank account. We share the same money. Her money's mine. Mine is hers. We make all our decisions together. Jared and Sara basically do the same thing, but they also have their own accounts where they, have their own spending cash. So you are not currently in a long-term relationship, do you see anything from your past that would teach you a lesson about how you want to go about this now? If you got into a relationship with a woman,
What are you
would
going to
still
do
want to have?
differently?
Yeah. Would you do anything differently than you did in the past?
I already am. Like I said, I've
answer.
realized.
Good answer. Very thoughtful.
Listen, because I wasn't expecting something like this to fucking come up.
Put it down.
What is he doing right now?
I don't know. Are you itching your leg?
I'm thinking. I'm itching my leg.
The beard is for thinking.
This is the deep thought of the podcast. This is the deep thought.
No, and I wasn't ready for this. I hate you, Mom. I love you.
Do we need to circle back?
You want to circle back, girl?
Yeah, I'm rereading.
do we want to move forward and have you circle back when you think?
We still have half of our questions to
beginning
answer,
to realize is how important communication is and how lacking in that I was.
There you go.
That's the recent thing. That's over a month.
I love you, Manny.
It is. It's yeah.
Would you ever?
I wasn't
would you
ready.
ever share an account with a woman?
It depends.
Circumstances.
If they wanted to, I have no issues having separate accounts. As long as I know everything's getting paid.
And you have no issue having the same account.
No.
You wouldn't want to know if they have some kind of porn
like
subscription or something?
No, I don't give a shit.
He probably has them, so
all the OnlyFans he's subscribed to, yeah.
No, it's
all right. So fun said, but parenting is where we argue the most. I'm more hard, she's too passive. Holding that one in.
Listen, you gotta be rough
in.
on those little assholes sometimes.
I was just holding the dirty joke in. And then he says, and then in-laws, I get along with them better than I do my own family.
I mean, in-laws are. I mean, we all have something.
We all have something.
She doesn't want to incriminate herself.
So as far as parenting is concerned, yeah, I'm more of the disciplinarian, as most fathers are. Our kids are tough, as Justin knows. We've tried very different parenting approaches, multiple different occasions, trying to see what works best for them. The one thing I will say about parenting, and I think I touched on it the other night, but for those of you who weren't in that, pop-up bonus episode, is when it comes to parenting, I think the most important thing for you to remember is to not undermine your partner in front of the children. So if your parent, or if your significant other is trying to parent, they're trying to discipline, they're trying to teach in a way that you disapprove of, do not scold them in front of your kids. Do not yell at them, belittle them in front of your kids. Do not question them in front of your kids. Wait until after, pull them aside where the kids can't hear them and discuss it with them. Say, listen, I don't agree with that. I think this is where we need to do something different. I don't like how you approach that. Can we try something different next time? But when you do that in front of your kids, say I'm yelling at the kids because my volume, like I'll start here and then it climbs and climbs and climbs and climbs until they listen to me, because I don't want to have a full-on fist fight with my children.
So, I mean, sometimes I do, but
Yes, you do.
I do, but I don't want to go to jail. So it starts low and gets high. So if I end up yelling at them and then she yells at me for yelling at them in front of them, not only does that undermine me, it makes the kids think. Now, my kids are clever enough. I think if your kids are clever enough, it's going to show them I don't have to listen to them because mom's just going to yell at them anyway. I could do whatever I want.
We talked about this Friday night.
That's what
he said.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
I was just lost in your voice, okay?
I haven't to really honestly yell at our kids all that much in the last while since the baby came, really. They've been, a lot.
Fight.
They have their moments, but most of the time Eli just separates. He goes up to his room. Lena stays downstairs and it's okay. The other day, however, she blamed me for something that was 150% her own fault. And I gave it to her. I told her we're gonna fight, fist fight soon.
Yeah. I mean, oftentimes,
piece of work.
oftentimes I feel like I'm failing as a parent. Now, I just want to know how many people listening and watching feel like you're failing as a parent.
I mean, there I have my days. Not with Mila.
Because
the
I
other
feel
two,
like
though.
I feel like more
Speak up,
people. I feel like more people feel that way than we really know. I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat. Like you struggle with your kids. You think that you're
We're all
messing
just too
up.
hard on ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's the case. That's exactly what I was going
I
to get
mean,
at.
we did in the beginning. I mean, we went through a phase where Tommy was getting in trouble at school and stuff like that, and we kept saying to ourselves, like, is this like our fault? And are we making sure that he's out doing more things, more social things? Because I mean, we are people, we like to stay at home. Like, and today we went out for a birthday party, and we're sitting there like we're not very social. Like, is he picking up on that? Is he out playing with friends and stuff like that? Like, he's getting into video games like I am, so we have to limit that. And we always kept wondering, like, he's picking up on these cues. Is he getting in trouble at school because we're not correcting that behavior? So we kept thinking, like, yeah, I mean, are we failing as a parent? But we kind of look at it like, we're trying everything we can. So I don't think we're failing, at that.
Yeah.
Doesn't come with
All
a
right.
owner's manual.
Oh, and then
That's
the health. We have
100%.
the health part still to answer.
Oh, you still got the health part? Because I
Well,
got one
I'm
from
just
chat.
gonna
I want to
say-
get in here.
Corey likes to not admit when he needs to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to tell him sometimes, like, you have to go. Corey has a blood
You have to
clot
play mom
disorder.
with guys. We don't want to go to the
Well,
doctor. You
his
guys
mom
have to
told
play mom
me
with
when
us and make
she
us go.
was- When Corey's mom was sick, and she, the same day that she told us, about her diagnosis, she told me to always make sure that Corey watched his health and that I made sure he was healthy and safe. So I took that seriously. I mean, honestly, he gets blood clots, and sometimes he tries to put it off and put
We're
it
not
off
mind
and not go to the
readers.
hospital. I mean, he knows when he's getting.
You just got to force them. You just got to force them. You got to play
Sometimes
mom
I'm
in
like,
that
okay,
situation.
it's time that. he
Thanks.
needs to
And
do
now I'm
something.
thinking about my mom, and I'm going to get all teary-eyed and
Well, I'm
shit.
trying not to, but sorry.
All
I
right.
have to take
We
care
did
of
get a
myself.
couple of questions in chat too. I know
Yes,
Mark asked one up above.
Hold
We
on.
have one
I
from-
got one because it's intriguing. Hold on.
Oh, God.
This one. I've never, until recently, been asked anything close to this question. I didn't have an answer. Corey, what's your answer?
I think the most important thing to think about when you're asked a question like this is to try to understand what your significant other's love language is. So what makes me feel most loved is her wanting to cook me meals. And I've had times where I would try to get up and go over and serve myself, and she tells me, sit down. I'm bringing you your plate. Sit down. And I know it's out of love. I know that she absolutely loves me in that moment because she would serve me in that way.
Jared. I'm skipping the ladies right now.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
No, because I didn't have an answer to this question because I've never thought about it.
I think for me, it's the fact that she's still here. She puts up with the stuff that I do. She, even though I've told her, and she gives me looks, when I'm upstairs playing my games, but she understands that it's a way for me to decompress, and it's a way for me to not feel like depressed or anything like that. So she knows that that's my time that I get to unwind, and she gets it. She gets me in the fact that she supports my decisions, and like I said, she's still here.
Tolerate the bullshit.
She tolerates it. I've told her all the time, like, I tolerate hers, and I don't think anybody else can put up with the stuff that I put up with.
No.
She giggled a bit at first, but I know
Yeah.
she fully believes that answer, and
But the fact that we still can joke around about stuff like this and just continue to live our lives and with each other. I mean, just makes me feel like she loves me still. And, you know, my love language is the fact that, you know, like I like touch, you know, so I like when she will tickle my back or tickle my arms. And I'm like, okay, she still loves me. She still.
That dude, I think a lot of men, their love language is touch. And I think this goes back to men being romantic. And I think when some women hear this, they think that, you know, a man, when he wants intimacy, he just wants sex. Men just want sex. That's all they want. Intimacy is not just sex, people. Ladies, please listen to this. Listen to this so hard, please. I was waiting for it. Just touch your husband. Touch his arm. Touch his leg. Touch him wherever you see his skin. No, and honestly,
You said it's not sexual, and then you were like, hey.
On a more serious note, it's when you crawl into bed. If she brushes her arm up against mine, or she rubs her fingers down my arm, or she reaches her foot over and brushes her foot on my foot, it's the little things.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, it's the little things. It's just feeling that skin-to-skin contact. Ladies, when you have a baby, what's the most important thing those nurses tell you when you're in the hospital? When that baby is so little, to connect with that baby, what do they tell you? Skin-to-skin contact is important.
Yeah.
Have that skin-to-skin contact. It's the same for men whose love language is touch. It's the same thing. That skin-to-skin contact is important. Shit, man, let me take my shirt off and cuddle up next to you. That makes me so happy. If something else happens, it happens. But I mean, it's just
stream,
that,
please.
It's just that skin-to-skin contact. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
See, you
are doing fantastic.
I really never thought about. Like, I never thought I've never been asked that question, actually. So,
Justin, first, what's your love language? Have you ever looked into that?
Nope.
So,
what do you enjoy most when somebody does something for you?
Bro,
just
it
now,
has been
now,
so
right,
long.
now have him answer the question that was asked to us.
Well, we didn't.
Because if you answer what?
Me and Sarah didn't answer it really.
But if you answer this question, it's going to tell you what your love language is.
The question you just answered, I told you, I don't have an answer to it.
You just like being around the person?
I've been asked that question recently. I have
you
no
don't
idea.
know what makes you feel most loved.
My answer to that was, you're doing good. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. What makes you, I got asked, what makes you feel appreciated? I said, swear to God, I don't know.
I think this is a mission for your new lady friend now.
Well, he did bring out the notebook. I think he's taking notes. So
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want the ladies to answer this question now, since we got our turn?
Aaron,
yes.
Get Aaron down there.
We'll start with Sarah.
I'm surprised you didn't rope us back in for this one.
I wanted to so bad, but I wanted Justin to answer the question, and he still hasn't. But
I don't have one.
Dude, you gotta have
about this for 2 weeks.
Bro, listen. How do you not have an answer to that question?
That's a good fucking question. I think he's playing
I've never
games with
thought
us.
about it. No, I'm not.
It's not something you should have to think about, though.
Aaron,
I'm
like,
Justin, do you feel all tingly when I give you a hug?
No,
do you like that skin to skin contact?
I almost think this is like a defense mechanism. He doesn't want us to know the answer to this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want anybody else to know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
Dude, this is like a fucking jigsaw puzzle with you right now. Like, you have to know something.
No.
Okay. But
Bye. All right.
Gift giving is a love language. Touch is a love language.
Corey, let
let's
answer this.
Thank you, Aaron. Rope us back in.
Because then maybe Justin will get in chat, and maybe it's more of a female thing for him. Maybe the female will give him the intuitive.
There you go.
I promise.
Ali says Aaron needs to answer it. Maybe Aaron will pop in when the ladies are done. Okay, which one first, Justin? You're supposed to take charge.
We're
here.
starting on Sarah. I was waiting on
Okay.
Sarah.
Mine is definitely acts of service. Like, I know typically like the house responsibilities falls on the female typically, but I mean, if I don't have to tell him to do it, that makes me happy. Makes me feel loved, like he's paying attention.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, for me, like
that back in the day, you used to mention that too. You're like, maybe I'd be in the mood more if you did the dishes today.
So anyway, like for myself, my love language is I like to cook for people. I like to do for people. I mean, that's like all I do is I do everything for everybody in the house and keep everything running. And so like when Corey compliments my cooking, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel loved. Like when he tells his friends that I make great food. And
God, I brag about your cooking at work all the time.
Like that. But yeah, like, and him showing that he's thinking of me just by doing something little, even just to know that he thinks about me throughout his day. I don't know.
Like when I get you a Lipton iced tea when I stop at the store.
Yeah. Or you bring me home
M&Ms.
Acts of service and gift giving.
Yeah.
Very
Well, I don't
nice.
really need you to give me gifts. Just mostly like your time and attention.
That works. I think attention might be a love language. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Thanks, Beanie.
I just know that.
Stacy says, I'm with you, Justin. Don't feel pressured. Mine would be the cop-out answer of just being respected.
But Allie said, Justin, when your lady friend hugs you, do you want more of her hugging you?
Duh. Or I wouldn't be pursuing it.
I'm telling you, you're probably like most men, and your love language is touch.
Yeah, that's in there. I don't know. I don't know.
I used to not understand that as
how
much
to
as I
answer
do
that.
now.
Can you wait? Hold on. Can you say it louder for the people in the back?
I don't know. I used to not be like a touchy-feely person, but now I don't know. Now I am more so than I used to be.
So before Mila was born, she had more of her father's genes in her, and after Mila was born, she has more of her mother's genes in her. So before she didn't like to be touched, now she loves to be touched.
Yeah, you made that weird when you.
That was intentional.
I don't feel like all of that was intentional. That got a little awkward.
Why are you so awkward, bud?
All right. Aaron, let's go to the next one.
Wait. They wanted Aaron to Alley Cat wanted Aaron to answer what his answer is. He's got to give his answer for that.
So mine's pretty simple. Just want to feel appreciated. A simple thank you. A simple hey, you're doing good, whatever. Just it's that easy. I don't want to feel taken for granted. A simple thank you goes a long way, and that's it for me. It's that simple.
Aaron, have you ever seen the videos where the women go up to their man and they tell him how proud they are of him? You see the men's reaction to that? How easy it is to make a man cry in a moment like that where he's not expecting it, where pride is important for men. Pride is important for men. I mean, you tell the man you are proud of them and you appreciate them.
It's that easy.
Everybody
most men are going to melt for you, women. Most men are going to melt. That's all it takes. He's right.
I think, but it's also this on the other side of it too. You have to reciprocate that too.
Yeah,
100%.
They have to feel the same way. So,
yep.
Take notes, Justin.
Back to my
pull out that notebook.
I have been. Listen,
Aaron's back to the cave.
Lots changed.
I fully understand why Jared loves it back here.
Question is, have you rolled your eyes as many times as Jared usually does?
Have you been watching me?
I can't see because I'm a guest, but I was wondering. I was like, is Aaron rolling his eyes back there?
Jared, I think I've pretty much tied your record for any kind of episode just with Justin's bullshit. So yeah, I'm pretty close.
At least I'm successful at something.
I yell at you guys when I'm watching from downstairs.
Allie says, I wasn't a touchy-feely person either. Now with Joe, I love being hugged or in the car holding hands.
Yeah. Yeah, in the same
I
way.
need to
Nothing-
do that more. I used to do that in the beginning of our relationship. Everywhere we go in the car, I used to grab her hand and just hold it.
Dude, that makes my heart swell when she does that to me. If we're just driving, my arm's just sitting there on the middle console on the shifter, and she just takes it.
The kids are always like,
Done.
ew, why are you guys
I'm
hugging?
done, man.
Why
I
are
love
you
it.
kissing? And I'm like, you should be happy your parents love each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, we could be fighting
Not
all the
of
time.
your friends have that.
This is the other question. I'm glad. Yeah, okay, someone went back and found it. That I was gonna say I don't want to ignore Mark's question. I just couldn't remember what it was.
So then we'll start down on Jared and Sarah. What do you love most about your partner? We'll start with Sarah.
Oh.
You're not allowed to say boobs.
How are you not gonna let me say that?
Right?
He can say whatever he wants.
Can you open that window?
No, I can't.
God, it's so hot in here.
Oh,
Welcome to my world.
It shouldn't
I
be
don't
this
know.
hard. Like,
What do you mean by that?
I'm not good.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, I love you. I mean, he does. I don't want to say keep me in check in like a bad way, but I do get a little crazy, and he's like, "All right, let's rein it in here." So,
I mean, Allie and Joe had the pleasure of listening to me on a phone call once where I had to get stern with a contractor, so they kind of know how I get. I can get to the point where, yeah, I gotta tell her, you know, let's calm it down, and I know I'm gonna get some flack for it, you know, from her. She's gonna tell me that that's not helping, but it does. Like, she may not think that it helps, but it does honestly calm her down, and she will step back and think about it. But I mean, what I love most about her is the fact that we can say these things to each other, and we can still make jokes, and at the end of the day, like, no matter what it is, we go to bed not angry at each other, because I mean, I think that's one of the worst things to do is go to bed angry with each other, because then you wake up the next morning thinking, you know, they're still mad at you. So no matter what it is, no matter what we fight about, we don't go to bed angry. We will talk about it, and we will kiss each other, and basically the next day is a new day, and we're not mad. So, you know, we work well, we mesh.
We seriously just had the same discussion the other day, where like if we're mad at each other, even when we crawl into bed, we still make sure, you know, it's weird, but it's like we make sure that we touch each other's feet, you know, just to say, you know, I still love you. We're fine. It's okay. We've had a lot less of those kind of fights lately, so that's nice. But
I agree with fun there. Like, there's a lot, so it's hard to put into one thing. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of things that you love about your partner. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, I really love her cooking. I really love her boobs. I'm allowed to say what I want, but no, honestly, I think what I love most is her dedication to our family. We're very family oriented. I guess she said that was going to be her answer too, but she's always concerned with the kids, with me. She always puts us first. She kind of overdoes it sometimes. She overworks herself. She gets herself into a bit of a funk because it's constantly thinking about other people. But the fact that she's always worried about us and putting us first, that's her best trait, I think.
So I was going to say pretty much the same thing. Your dedication to us as a family and how hard you work for us as a family. You know, you're exhausted. You're sore. You feel like shit. You know, you still go to
What do you mean it's a cop out? Oh, her.
That's
just
literally
thinking
exactly
your
what I
answer.
was going to say. He said dedication. I'm like, son of a bitch.
You could have been happy with me just saying your boobs. Then you had your own answer. But you made me pick another one.
That's true. Aaron, we got another one? There.
Oh.
If you could change one thing, oh Jesus, one thing about your partner, what would it be?
It's a trap.
Thank you, Jared. This is where I think this is all going to unravel. So choose carefully.
I'm in for this.
All right, guys, it's been about 2 hours now, so thanks for hanging out with us.
No. Just be diplomatic about this.
All right, let's start with Alex.
Come on. I don't know. I honestly have no answer.
Corey,
I feel like we've been together for so long, we've kind of molded each other because we grew up together. So I don't even know.
No trap, promise.
We'll come back to
Sure
you.
feels
Corey.
like a trap.
All right, your turn, Corey. I have no idea.
Man, this is one that really requires thought because I know you guys are going to say, if you say, "Oh, I wouldn't change a thing," that's just you trying to protect yourself. That's just you taking the cop out answer. I would say, but
the cops out of all of his.
I mean, it's difficult to say anything right now because we have the baby and we spend a lot of time here. But I guess before we had the baby, I mean, I guess the one thing I would change is her not getting mad if I wanted to go out.
It's because if you go out, you're like, all right, I'll be home by like midnight, and then it's like the bar is closing, and
Don't fucking point at me.
we were talking.
It's his fault.
Then I don't go to bed because I stay up until you get home.
It's his
And
fault.
then I get mad because then I'm tired. And
Mr.
you know what I mean.
Orange soda and vanilla vodka.
Yeah,
It's his fault.
It's
not-
always
I
Justin's
do
fault. He's a
nothing
bad
wrong.
influence.
I'm a great
No, but-
influence.
You tell
In
him
all
that.
in all seriousness, aside from the joking, man, like really, we're always growing. We're always growing together. There's really not much that I would change. I mean, maybe she could become a carpenter and replace doors for me. I don't know. Mike Cook, this is the troubled conversation. Blame Alley Cat. She's the one that did this to us.
Right, well, we got safe answer up there. Let's go down bottom. Let's go to Sarah.
I'm surprised you didn't say spend less time on the computer for the podcast.
I mean, you're doing something you love, so I feel bad. And
Yeah.
you work so much that I feel bad discouraging you.
That's the same thing Sarah says. Like,
I know
Once
something
that
like
comes,
you
though,
like,
you're
get
gonna be
annoyed
outside
that
more.
you're not,
down.
downstairs, but I'm like, well, no, I guess this is also my alone time. So
Yeah, true.
We all need something for ourselves. We really do.
I
Yeah.
just
As
need-
someone once said to me, well, I live with you, so
Oh, shut up.
yeah. I guess the one thing I would change would just be like spend more quality time together. So
that and not smoking because
yeah, I
she
can't
doesn't
stand
like
that.
it.
makes
I
sense.
smoke at work and I vape at home. So,
You come home smelling disgusting.
but I'm honest. She goes, "Did you have a cigarette today?"
Only because I can
Yes.
smell it.
Yeah, cigarettes are
I can
gross.
smell it.
Justin.
But
They are.
I don't know. I mean, I guess one thing that I would change about her is that she would not be a damn furnace because I want to be able to.
That I can't
I want to
help.
be able to cuddle. I want to be able to lay next to her at night, but I don't because I can't stand the heat. And
Stay out of the kitchen.
so
It's nice in the winter, though.
I turn the other way. And
Sarah, I thought of the same line.
I
before,
like when you're warm in the winter, but in the summer, I'm like, get the hell away from me. Like
I
I
used to
can't.
be able to withstand it in the beginning because I was like, I want to feel that touch, and then like you get comfortable.
Well, then I get too hot, and I'm like, get away
Yeah.
from me.
So I'm like, okay, but I mean, I would change that, but I would also change the fact that she does not sleep.
That I can't help.
I go to bed.
I
She
can't fix
does
that.
not like my snoring. I do snore, and she will wake me up and tell me I'm snoring, and I want to basically fight her and say, stop waking me up just because I snore. I can't help it, right? It's not my fault.
Every now and then, Corey sounds like he's dying when he sleeps. Like it sounds like he's not breathing. One time, I did.
Oh my God. There's
wanted to
one,
make sure he was
Sarah.
breathing.
I
I thought
shit
he
you
was
not.
dead.
Not even. No, I woke up in the middle of the night to this woman. She wasn't just reaching over and doing it. She was on top of me with her hand over my face to feel me breathing. I woke up, opened my eyes, and about shit myself.
See, Allie, yeah,
He was ready to knock you out. Man.
Sarah's hit
Oh
me
my-
before.
We
and
just wanted to make
will
sure
tell
he
me to
wasn't
stop.
dead. He wasn't making any noise.
I think it's time for a mask, Corey.
It's only every now and then. If he
It's
falls
when I'm
into
on
a
my
deep sleep.
back.
Yeah,
If I'm falling asleep on my back, I can't sleep on my back. I sleep on my side.
you were doing weird stuff.
Fun's been answering along with us this whole time. I just want to point that out. This one, he said, "Okay, I would change the fact that my wife gets stressed out at little things." He's like, easier for me to say when I'm not sitting next to her.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely
Fair
do
enough.
get stressed at like the little inconveniences, but that's part of my ADHD. It doesn't really help.
Yep. Eric, I would change your husband's insert.
Insert thing about yourself that needs improvement. Interesting. You were dating now. Do you think you would still pick your spouse?
Most definitely.
Ooh, Jared and
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I mean, like I said, I mean, I wasn't looking for any booty calls. I wasn't looking for somebody like that. And I think all the traits that I definitely wanted in a partner, she has, and she's a great mother, a great wife, and most definitely has everything that I've ever wanted in a partner. And that's why I still think, you know, I could call her my soulmate.
I can vouch for
I am not kissing
Corey
it.
and Alex. Y'all would have just ended up together, and from what I know of Jared, you guys would have ended up together too.
I would see that
Even
beard and
though
be like,
the dating world
"Ooh."
is fucked up right now, it's way
Yeah, I
different.
don't envy you at all.
And there's nothing against, you know, dating somebody with kids or anything like that. And it wasn't a deal breaker for me. But I mean, I feel like, you know, when I met her and stuff like that, and she was, you know, she didn't have any kids. I felt like that was also came into play because at the time, money was an issue too, and so I was like, I couldn't really deal with a kid at the time. I had it was a low paying job, so I mean, but I would still, I mean, even if she had a kid, I probably still would date her. I mean, like I said, all the traits that I was looking for, she has. So
Speaking as somebody who has been in the dating field, I won't date somebody who doesn't have kids.
and that's where I would go today.
Weird
too.
to me because I
They
have
won't
one.
understand, too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think
like
today
you have to
I'd
understand,
be
my
the
kid will
same
come
way.
before anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you would hope that
Yeah.
if you were dating a woman who had kids, that it would be the same way for her. Because if she
Yeah.
didn't, there'd be something.
Well,
going on there.
he really just doesn't want to date someone without kids because then they're going to want a kid of their own, and he doesn't want another little him
That
running
also.
around the world.
That also. Yeah, I'm done having
But-
my own.
Yeah, to give
You
our
come
own
with your own. That's fine.
to give our own answer, we would definitely choose each other again. Like we've shared this meme back and forth with each other a couple times over. Like in 100 lifetimes, 100 different worlds, we would always choose each other every time.
She's got a kid, you know, she's got snacks at the house. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
baby. Good job,
I'm
Eric.
surprised Goons
Yeah,
wasn't the one to say that.
yeah,
I
I
didn't
know,
even
right?
have kids, and I had
Snap,
snacks.
snap,
I like snacks.
Gotta appreciate
I mean-
a woman who likes snacks.
Snip, snip
I
to
should.
this guy soon.
I
hope.
should.
No more little babies
Corey,
over
let's just
here.
make our appointments
Better
on the
out than
same
in,
day.
I always
Yeah,
say.
you guys can go together. You can hold hands.
Better out than in, I always say.
Jesus Christ.
I know she gets it.
There's your vial.
Fun says not to change the mood in a depressing way, but one thing since being together that will forever set us apart from other people is we both lost our dads and we were there for each other during it.
Yeah, we both lost our moms. So.
Yep.
And Justin was there for both, and Justin also was there for both of us when we went through that too.
Our
favorite-
She's something nice about me. Holy
I did.
shit.
I know.
Our
It's
favorite,
never-
our favorite third wheel. Our favorite third wheel.
Yeah, it's
He
a
completes our
depressing,
tricycle.
it's a depressing subject, but I mean, when I met Sarah, it was,
It was right when
it
my
was a
dad
week into it. Her
passed
dad
away.
passed, and I went quite a while without talking to her because she had to deal with all that, and so it definitely was like, am I gonna speak to her again? Like, but like I was there for her, so but I gave her space. But yeah, it was a depressing point, like when we just met each other.
I could be
Tommy-
Tommy. I
Would Justin be
I
the
could
flat
be.
tire on the tricycle?
yes.
Sometimes.
All right. So do we
I'm the
have
square tire.
do we have any other questions that we
Yeah,
want
Ali
hit?
said. So what would you guys have done? So 6 years later, you guys are into the relationship, and you find out that one of you has a kid.
At 6 years into the relationship, you find out that they have a kid.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so were they hiding it from you, or
Well,
is it something that they just found out?
I was gonna say maybe you just found out it yourself as well, and now you gotta.
Yeah.
What would you guys do?
There's nothing you can
Like,
do about that.
Yeah, that's nothing you can hold against them.
You work through it together.
Unless
they just found out.
unless we're together for 20 years and we both just found out that she has a 10-year-old. Then
Yours
that's a
to me, too.
problem.
I mean, I don't remember.
Well,
But I mean,
Wow.
it did happen to your dad. You
Yeah,
know,
but that was before my mom. That's different.
I know, but still, like,
What-
it was still shocking when
what-
your dad found out he had
Yes.
another kid.
But what I'm saying is, if that child that you just found out about was within the time frame of you being together,
Oh,
then it's a problem.
that is a problem.
Corey,
Yeah,
it'd
that
almost
would be
be
a problem.
impossible for her to have a kid that's 10 that you don't know about.
because Lena's gonna be 10.
It would
Yeah,
have
well,
to
yes.
be
The
you
man.
having
Well,
a
I
kid that's
understand.
10.
Yeah.
I didn't say who, but yes, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? You found out that I have a 6-year-old. Is that a problem?
Oh hell yeah!
See?
I would knock you out.
She would
I
unalive
don't
me.
think that question has to be asked.
I probably use a
That's
cast iron
just-
frying pan upside his head.
No, they just found out, and it's from before your relationship. Not a problem.
I mean, it would be shocking, but obviously
She
you
would have been
wanna, like-
15 or so, but I mean, I'd still accept it. Well, that would be weird. I thought I was your
Just doing
first.
that.
The fuck, man.
all those kids that I had when I
But no,
was
from way
teenagers
back
for
then,
you.
I wouldn't let something like that affect what we have now.
How do you learn from other successful couples and relationship experts,
So,
i.e., TikTok
Well, so I was
therapists?
thinking about
throw it to me, Justin. Throw it to me.
Jared,
Throw me
Jared,
in the bus.
fly ball.
I put this in there
Miss it.
because I want to know what you guys think about this whole thing. So so I guess if it's difficult for people to portray how they feel about you, right? So for instance, and this is not about the relationship. So she wants me to understand more about ADHD, right? Like, and how she deals with it. She will send me TikTok videos about like therapists explaining what ADHD is and stuff like that. And I get pissed off a lot because I'm like, can you just tell me how it is that you feel? Like, I don't need to watch TikTok. I don't need to sit there and understand. Like, I want to know, I want it to come from you. I want to know how you feel. I don't want to know how somebody else feels. I want to know what's coming from you. And she's like, it gets hard for her to explain those in words. And I guess TikTok does a better job putting it in words than she does. And so she'll send me videos. And then it gets to a point where it's like on relationships, like, oh, what if this were us? And, we could do this, and relationship advice. And I'm like, I don't want to hear about stuff like that from TikTok. It's got to come from your partner.
Sometimes it is hard to put into words, and they
Yeah.
explain it really well.
I know, but
I used to not say anything, and then you got annoyed, and now I follow up with like, "Hey,
I found this video. This is how I feel."
At least it's a way of, you can look at it, at least it's a way that she's trying to express what she's
It is, and
wants to
I
say.
get that. I get it. Yeah. And so, like, I'm not dismissive of the whole thing. I read it, and I watch the video. I'm like, okay, but it would be nice if it came from her, like, but she says, like, she has a hard time expressing it this way, but this is actually how she feels, and I get it. I just hate. I hate. Maybe it's because I have a thing for social media and being off of it for so long. I can't stand TikTok. I can't stand social media, and having that come into your life. Like, it's not. I'm not married to social media. I'm married to Sarah, and I wish that would come from Sarah.
You said you were
thinking about answer for this one for us. Like, personally, I don't care honestly about people on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. Like, I think most people on Facebook and stuff, they're all a show. They just want to look good for, social media.
For views and clicks.
I personally look at like couples that we know. Like, I waited on this couple for years and years when I worked at the restaurant, and we still talk to them. Mary and Jerry. And I always tell them that I find them inspiring as a couple because they've been married. They have, I don't know, their kids are all in like their 20s and they're still so in love with each other. So I think Margaret and Dennis are another example. I mean, they've been married for
I always looked at my father and mother too.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were divorced.
Like my father and mother were, they were always so good to each other. My dad took care of my mom. They had their fights, they had their spats, but they always worked through everything.
Yeah.
So anytime we ever had a fight, I always thought back to my parents. And I'm like, they worked everything out, and they had a couple of screaming matches from time to time that I remember as a kid, and I always remember they worked through that and they were just fine the next day.
Yeah. See, I didn't have, my parents were not like that. They were more just fighty. And my mom just kind of kept everybody together. But I just look at them and I'm like, well, like, this is how I see them. And I find it inspiring to see somebody that's been together for 40 or 50 years. And they still, our neighbors, to be honest, across the street, I look at them and they sit in their yard. They will sit under their tree talking for 3 hours straight, just the two of them, and laughing. And I think that's just inspiring. And I look at people like that, like they're communicating. I don't know. That's what I would rather look at.
Can I answer now?
Yeah. Justin's inspired by us. I know.
Okay, then I don't have to answer because that's what I was going to say.
Oh, shit. Wow. Justin said something nice about me too.
Yeah. I do look at your guys' relationship, and I find that inspiring too. And I don't have a lot of stories like that. My parents were divorced, and I've seen a lot of my brothers and sisters divorced. For me, it's always I wouldn't say a struggle, but I'm trying not to be like that. I'm trying not to play into the whole stigma of like being like my father. I love my father.
I know that one.
But I'm trying not to do any of those things. And so I don't have a lot of examples when it comes to that. So when I see like you guys, or I see other relationships, that are successful, that's kind of who I strive to be like. So, I try to surround myself with people like that. I still like you too, Justin. So
oh, thanks. But no, like for real, like if I'm talking to somebody and I don't see what you guys have, I'm out on anything serious on that.
Oh, thanks, Justin.
And that happens quick. So I can figure it out pretty quick. But to the TikTok thing, for some reason, TikToks, Reels, Instagram, whatever the fuck, Shorts, whatever the fuck they're called, they always know. Like, they will be right inside your feels every fucking time. It is real easy to use those to be able
to
portray.
Slap in the face.
Yeah, I'm not dismissive of it. Like I said, I just
and
for
some
me,
people,
I want more of a personal touch,
like me and apparently Sarah there, communicating that is hard, and it's just easy to be able to communicate it through that. I'm still saying it, just using a different way to say it.
I think
if I say it, it may come across as mean because I'm very point blank. I'm blunt. I don't sugarcoat shit. So I might be sound rude, and then he gets defensive. So it just causes an argument. Whereas that person just explained it very nicely, and
I mean, I think
Oh,
I think we come from a generation of if something's broke, you fix it. Like especially when it comes to marriage, if something is broken, you work on it, you talk it over, and you fix it. I think with some people that's also like a religious matter, and I think nowadays, I think people are of the mindset, the younger generations of the mindset, like if it's broken, like if I have an issue with you, if we have a fight, no, that's it.
Yeah.
We're throwing it to the street. We're throwing it to the trash. We're done.
Hi, puppy.
I just feel like people don't know.
Just took my seat.
I feel like people don't know how to work through problems and issues anymore. I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Sorry, there's a dog in the way.
That's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't
I think
excite
a lot of
'em.
people they're quick to throw things away, even though.
That would be
things
that
get tough.
one.
Aw.
All right. I'm gonna have to question my mom here. What the fuck is this?
Mm,
4 weeks till what?
You're until she finds out if you're a big brother.
Oh, God help me. You're too old for that, lady.
When-
Sorry, Annie. It's just a joke. Don't kill me.
When you found
You're-
out
you're
you
too
had
old for another
your
child.
older sister, your second older sister, Jessica, he came home and he's because his dad said, I need to talk to him. He came home and he's like, so I
Put
do
it
have
together.
another sibling. Or I've
I've got another sibling.
and I'm like, what? Like he made it sound like there was like a baby coming or something creepy like that. I'm like, what?
Oh, that would be
I mean-
terrifying.
Justin, to answer your question, your mom, Tom asked about the ancestry DNA. So
Yeah, I just found
Oh.
that out. I'm
I think your
excited to-
mother's
I didn't know she did that.
well, now you know.
Maybe I should do that. I mean, I don't really know what's in my
Oh,
blood.
God
But you know
damn,
what?
Tommy.
If I do it, you know what's going to come back saying? It's going to come back saying 100%
Mutt.
America.
My brother just did his, and I was surprised to see.
America.
Ma, I'm gonna have to
I'm
see these
American.
results because I'm half of everything over that side. Then
Yeah, my
All right.
brother said something like, because my dad always tells us we have like a drop of Indian blood, but my brother's like, well, that wasn't on his. But he said that my dad's could be totally different. Who knows?
All right. Anything
more
else
questions,
before we
Aaron?
wrap it up? Because guys, we have fucking gone tonight.
did your nerves ease, Alex?
Yeah.
I
My
have to
face
say,
is
you
just red
guys
because
did
it's
great.
10,000 degrees in this room right now.
You did
I
too,
drank
Aaron. I am
a lot
very
of coffee.
appreciative of you doing that tonight.
I have a good teacher, man. I paid attention.
They were the audios were on point.
I tried to keep the questions in order. I tried to keep the conversation flowing.
Aaron, I will say you do a better job in the background than I do.
I want to tell you guys I took 2 points out of this, and I don't think you guys even realize what happened. You were talking about the time that the guys spend on here and everything else. We get on our kids for the same thing. We need that alone time, but we're spending too much time on technology. And I like Corey's point. I'm the same way. I'm from an older generation, I think. I'm an old soul. Before we had all these laptops and tablets and cell phones, our lives were so much different. So we yell at our kids for the same thing that we're doing. And the other thing is, girls don't ever get mad when we don't have an answer to a question, because the guys answered everything tonight like that, and you didn't.
I think there was only one that I didn't give a good answer to, right?
I'm just saying.
I didn't have an
Drop
answer
that
for shit.
bomb.
Yeah, Justin didn't give us any answers, though.
No man has ever
Listen,
won a
I'm not
game
gonna-
of.
So I think I may have figured it out, but I am not going to give an answer here before I give an answer to the original question. So
I think,
Well, that's
I
probably a
think
good idea.
Justin's more on the feminine side of things anyway. That's what I've
No.
learned.
That's what
No.
I'm thinking.
To recap, men are more romantic and we're better at communicating. Okay.
Oh, I pre-ordered you Final Fantasy.
I love you.
This made his night.
I'm glad you told me that.
$75.
I'm glad you told me that now, because I almost went to GameStop to do it myself before I got the pizza.
They would have said something to you, I think.
And to
I will
Sarah, I don't see Jared ever arguing. He's so chill with us. When he said like you guys get into arguments, I just don't visualize that. I'm
Well,
sure it
'cause
happens.
My
But I can't
arguments
see it.
my arguments are just like this. I never raise my voice, and it bugs her because this is how I discuss things. I'm very laid back with my arguments. Like I'm sitting here,
Oh, I don't
we'll
think
sit
I
here in an argument. it just bothers her because it's the psychology. I want to.
I feel like you're being dismissive.
I want
and
to
just
learn. Well, I just
wanting me
want
to
to
shut
learn
up.
where these things are coming from, and so I'm very intuitive, and I'll pick up on the cues, and I'll just do it. I mean, sometimes
Jared,
I
do you teach this?
I can, but like there
He's
are
got the
times
background.
I know where she hates it, and then like if I want to piss her off more, I'm like, okay, so how do you feel about that?
Yeah, and I'm
You
ready to
give
knock
away
you
your
out.
secrets. Don't-
So
Your secrets.
the ladies got a compliment in chat. Can we bring
There
up
it
that
is.
chat?
Yep, I was going to show it because this was my next point. You guys did great tonight, Alex. I know you were having a little bit of a. You did great. So
I
did
thought
Sarah.
they were going to bring up more controversial stuff, and that's
I
what
would
I
not
don't
have
like.
allowed it.
When,
I
like,
was ready for a
Ready
So
for a
they
fight?
think,
yeah.
they think that you ladies need your own channel under the pod.
Oh, I'm down.
Now that you're more comfortable,
Oh.
and now you can see why we're on this as long as we are. Some nights, the conversation just goes. I mean, we're in 2 hours and 15 minutes already. It flew by.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I think Mila bit her own hand really hard.
Oh damn!
Oh,
The longest I've been on.
She's
camera.
hungry.
the bottle while we.
I tell you what, man, she's been sitting in here this entire time, 2 hours and 15 minutes. The kid did good.
She's just
Yeah.
been smiling
she
at
did.
me.
The she shed deep thoughts.
She shed deep
She
thoughts.
shed
She shed
Oh my
deep
god, dude, I
thoughts.
would love a she shed, but really, I just need a greenhouse with like.
He's talking about a title for the show.
For the show.
Not an actual she shed.
Yeah, but
She
I want
loves
one of
a she
those to get
shed.
away from those big kids, man.
There you go.
Lock
I mean,
them out.
you already have the setups. You just have to borrow the setups. We're good to go.
Hey. So much
So
better
that's
now.
that's all the
Wider.
questions we have and everything else.
Alex,
I mean, maybe
Ryan,
this-
everybody
this
that
just
popped
is,
in, appreciate all the questions.
Maybe this is just teaching us that maybe we do need a female voice on the show.
Hmm.
You never know.
We'll
Once in a
get
while.
there.
Yeah, so cool.
Justin doesn't look happy about that.
No, we'll get there.
I'm starting
Eventually.
to think
We'll
think
see.
we have one already with Justin's femininity coming out.
Stop.
Stop it.
All right, we good? We good then? We good then?
Yes, sir.
There you go, Hannah. All
Okay,
right.
boys.
So the last thing I want to get across is make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and sharing both the live shows and the content that you find on Facebook. That does a world of good for us and for our exposure and for the show. Make sure you check out the Trendy Forbes over on Facebook. She also has the website, thetrendyforbes.com. She is slowly working on getting more and more inventory onto the website. As of right now, it looks like it's just our stuff, but you can use code NDT there on trendyforbes.com. It saves you 10% and it helps the show. But if you go over to her Facebook page, you can get involved in the different parties. There are a shit ton of different
So
designs.
fun. You get
You
free
can-
shit.
You can host your own party. She's a
Why
rep
isn't
herself.
Vanna Whiting? She's wearing one.
I am. Okay, so here, hold the baby a second. But she's attached to my hair, so
We have a bunch of different shirts that are from the Trendy Forbes.
okay, you have to let go. Mila, let go. Let go. Ow. So this one is the kids' birth flowers. And then on the sleeve, it says their names.
You can get customization from the Trendy
But,
Forbes.
she does all kinds so if you have a Facebook party, you invite all your friends that you think would buy, some t-shirts. You buy 5, you get the 6th one free. She pulls up whatever she thinks, you give her, your likes, dislikes, whatever. She comes up with something for everybody. And you earn free shirts. So
Yep.
it's
So
awesome.
our sponsor is amazing. Again, make sure you use code NDT at
She's a
checkout
small
for
business.
10% off. She is a small business, so it's small business helping small business. We are doing a giveaway at 1,500 followers. We're going to do another one just like the last one. So we have the sports show is doing their own giveaway. We will be doing one as well. So we are going to give away some more merch. We'll give you your choice of a hoodie, a t-shirt, a tumbler, whatever it might be. We'll ship it out to you if you are the winner. Aaron, if you want to pop back in and let everybody know what you're giving away for the sports show, because I don't remember exactly what it is. It's a split card of some sort, and it's one of 7.
Insane is what it is. It's insane.
one of 7.
So it's a dual relic, jersey relic of Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle, numbered 6 out of 7. There's only 7 of these cards produced. Panini America did a 2023 Bronx Legacy collection specific for the Yankees. I was able to pull card number 6 out of 7 out of the box. But like I said earlier in the sports show, I pulled a triple autograph relic card out as well. Was able to sell the card for much more than I paid for the box. So I figure I'm going to donate this card to the cause.
And that's an
Insanity.
incredible giveaway for the sports
Nobody
show.
enter that. I've already won.
You are not allowed to enter, my dude.
Yeah, you're not allowed, Justin.
Justin, I always give you something on top of what we give away.
I know.
What'd you get
Speaking
last
of,
time?
he's back there. He's back
Jordan's
there.
back there? All right. Look at the size
He's
of
on the
that.
bottom. They can't really see him.
Yeah, those flags look dope.
Yeah, buddy.
Jared, I have to go to the post office in the morning. Thank you for reminding me.
Your order from
I feel like you said that 2 weeks ago.
your order's coming in this week, guys.
So that, as well as, guys, check out a couple of our friends we had on the show the other night. Check out the Eye Opener Society. You could check them out on Spotify. You could visit them on Facebook, on YouTube. Check their show out. They are amazing people. They talk about some great topics, a lot of stuff that we're into as well. And you can check out the Matt and Monica podcast, the M&M podcast, over on YouTube. They are a married couple who does a fantastic show with one another. They pour their hearts out. They talk about anything relating to their relationship. They're an open book. They're wonderful people. So make sure you check them out as well.
Are they coming to Micro with us?
I have no idea. But yes, guys, we're checking out Micromania Wrestling on March 8th. That's going to be a blast. We're going to try to do some coverage of that on one of the shows afterwards. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to have to order some shit off Amazon for that.
There's going to be plenty of reels from that show. Trust me.
We're going to have a good time
while we're there.
We're going to have a good time.
Hannah would love all the Step Brothers shirts.
Hannah would love all the Step Brothers shirts. Yes, Hannah, you would love the collection that they have over there.
That I have
for the Trendy Forbes. Make sure the Trendy Forbes over on Facebook.
Or friend, like add me on Facebook and then I can add you.
Yeah, just add her on Facebook. You know her name.
The whole world does now.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. Those of you who spent most of the show with us, you're fucking champions, man. 2 hours and 20 minutes at this point. I can't believe some of you have been here as long as you have been. So thank you so much for joining us, making this a good show. Thank you for your input and your questions. And for those of you who are listening on audio, God damn it, get in here next time. Man, we got almost 1,500 followers. Let's get these lives popping off, all right? We hope to see you next week, guys. Next Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have the sports show. And then next Monday is our next episode of the Variety Show. Make sure you're there next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the same bullshit, the same nonsense, the same deep thoughts. We will see you guys next time.
Are we doing something Super Bowl Sunday?
Maybe. We'll talk about it on Facebook.
All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. Later.
Bye.
All right, y'all. It's the Nonsense and Deep Thoughts Podcast.